State and Western Kentucky's football past dates back to the 1952 Refrigerator Bowl, where the Hilltoppers defeated the Red Wolves 34-19. Fast forward to today, conference opener for both teams. The Red Wolves, behind quarterback Ryan Appland and a core of speedy receivers, face hard-nosed running back Bobby Rainey and Western Kentucky. As conference play begins, both have aspirations of being champion of the Sun Belt. It all starts today, and it's next on the Sun Belt Network. Live from Houchens Industries LT Smith Stadium in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Cox Sports Television and CSS are proud to present Sun Belt Conference football. Today it's the Red Wolves of Arkansas State and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. We welcome you to the broadcast booth alongside Cole Kubelik, Joe Davis on ham. These two teams kicking off conference play today. And Cole, I think it's safe to say that we'll see a contrast in styles.
No doubt about it. Western Kentucky brings a West Coast offense, but they're going to grind it out. They're going to run the football. And on the other side, Arkansas State, wide open, spread offense. They're going to spread the football around, take a lot of chances, do a lot of different things.
They're able to do a lot of different things because of the reigning quarterback of the year in the Sun Belt Conference. That's Ryan Appland.
This kid is the trigger man for Arkansas State, and he really is what makes this offense go. He can get it done with his arms and his legs. Has to be careful with turnovers. Got this team in trouble a little bit last year, turned the football over. More interceptions than touchdowns this season. You see almost 1,000 yards passing, but over 60% completed. On the ground, through the air, Ryan Appland will be what gets this Red Wolf offense going.
Not much has gone right for Western Kentucky so far. They're 0-3 after a 2-10 season, but one of the consistent positives over the last couple of years has been Bobby Rainey.
This kid's unbelievable. Led the entire college football in attempts last season. So durable, physical, low to the ground. You see him averaging 113.7 yards per game. That leads the Sun Belt Conference. This kid's going to get the ball through the air. He's going to get it on the ground. He's a physical running back. That's why he's going for 9 consecutive 100-yard games today.
Let's take a look at the Tony Chachere's ingredients for success.
If you're Arkansas State, you must find a way to neutralize Bobby Rainey. I mentioned he'll catch the football. He'll run the football. Just find a way to slow him down. Keep K1 Jakes, quarterback for Western Kentucky, in the pocket. I think he's more dangerous when he's moving. Make him beat you with his arm, and then just don't rely on the big plays. If you're Arkansas State, be happy moving the chains, sustaining drives. Keys for Western Kentucky: have play action success. Everyone knows Bobby Rainey's going to run the football. You have to utilize the play action when that defense puts an extra man in the box. Win first downs. Put yourselves in manageable second and third down situations and rattle Ryan Appland. That kid, when he has people in his face, he's a shorter quarterback. Like I mentioned earlier, tends to make a few mistakes, more interceptions than touchdowns on the season.
It's the ground attack of Western Kentucky against the wide-open attack of Arkansas State. The conference opener from the top of the hill comes up next. Sun Belt Conference football is being brought to you by Golden Flake, the official snack of the Sun Belt Conference. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love, and by Tony Chachere. Turn your same old into Creole with Tony Chachere's original Creole seasoning. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great. Arkansas State beating Western Kentucky in the Sun Belt opener today in Bowling Green. Hilltoppers trying to snap the nation's longest home losing streak at 17. Arkansas State 2-2. Western Kentucky at 0-3, kicking off the Sun Belt schedule on a beautiful day for football. Doesn't get much better than this. Partly cloudy skies here in Western Kentucky, 65 degrees, and could get down into the mid-50s by the end of the night. It's the 6th meeting all-time between these two teams. 2 wins apiece, 1 tie sprinkled in there, and it's been good lately. It's come down to the wire each of the last 2 seasons. Last year, the Hilltoppers scored in the last play of regulation to send it to overtime, where they'd win it 36-35. 2 years ago, Arkansas State with a win on this field. With that, we welcome in the third member of our crew. Here's Aaron Cofield.
Thanks, Joe. It's been a while since Western Kentucky won here at home. When asked what keeps them going, head coach Willie Taggart says it's the potential he sees in his guys. Now, cliche as it sounds, when conference starts, it's a new season, they say. So for them, they don't have a record. Arkansas State also 0-0. With that, let's take a look at your Sun Belt Conference Crunch Time standings, brought to you by Golden Flake. the official snack of the Sun Belt Conference. You can see that atop the leaderboard is ULL and Troy with one win in conference play. ULL does play FAU today, so a win for them would give them sole possession of that top spot. Joe, up to you.
As head coach of the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers in his second season, Willie Taggart took over his alma mater after 2009, his first head coaching job. This guy, third all-time leading rusher here at Western Kentucky, just under 4,000 yards in his career as a quarterback back in the mid-90s. On the other side, Hugh Freeze is the head coach for Arkansas State. He's in his first season as a head coach, became to Arkansas State as the offensive coordinator last year, and was promoted to head coach last December. Offense set 9 school records under him a season ago. Today's opening and first kickoff is brought to you by the Hot Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau. Hot Springs, Arkansas, America's first resort, proud home of the Sun Belt men's and women's basketball champions. Western Kentucky won the toss. They've elected to receive. And so Bobby Zalid will kick it away. Back to return it from the goal line is Antonio Andrews. Out to the 19-yard line on a return of 19 yards, and that's where Western Kentucky will begin. Now, last week or 2 weeks ago in the last game for Western Kentucky, nobody really knew at this time who was going to come out at starting quarterback. Wound up being Brandon Dowdy, who blew out his knee on the third play of the game against Indiana State. So no longer quarterback controversy. K'Wan Jakes will be the starter. 6'3", 190-pound junior from St. Augustine, Florida. This is his third season as a starter. You see the 6 interceptions there. Key for this team is to protect the ball. Jakes has also fumbled it 4 times already. And a quick throw on first down to Bo Brand, a true freshman. Getting close to 5 yards, and it'll be second down and 5. Rest of this Western Kentucky offense, Bobby Rainey led the country in carries a season ago, and a young receiving corps, Joel German, Rico Brown, Jack Doyle, the tight end. He's the captain of this offense. Offensive line, a unit that offensive coordinator Zach Azzani said should improve the most with the off week. The starting lineup's brought to you by Louisiana Propane Dealers. Second and 5, first possession of the ball game for Western Kentucky. First carry for Rainey. And spinning close to a first down. They'll give him 4. And it'll be third down and 1 against this Arkansas State defense. Brandon Joyner leading the conference in sacks. Dorvis Wood, another solid player on the front 4. Linebacking core, DeMario Davis already has graduated with his degree from Arkansas State, along with Lee and Bird. And in the secondary, this is a group that they've got high hopes for, but a young group. 3 sophomores in the secondary. A.J. Hills, one of the more experienced players. Third down and 1 at the 28-yard line. And they go to Rainey again. Stutter stepping and falling forward for a first down and a pickup of 2. Now Western Kentucky able to move the chains. Cole, they want to run the football. They've not been able to lately because they've fallen behind early. Yeah,
you see early what this West Coast offense can do, throwing different formations at you. We saw the little shotgun spread. Then you go 2 tight ends underneath center. We saw an I formation. So Willie Taggart and the offensive staff for the Hilltoppers mixing things up early. 3rd and 1 on the last play. No surprise who's going to get that football there. It's going to be Bobby Rainey almost every time.
Play action on 1st and 10. The tight end Jack Doyle gets tackled quickly by A.J. Hills after a gain of 3. And it's second down and 7. Hills leading the team in tackles with 27 now in the season.
Well, play action here, mentioned in the open. Play action has to work for Western Kentucky to be successful today. I like the decision by K'Wan Jakes, quarterback, getting rid of that football early. Be decisive where you want to distribute the ball out of play action. Don't take any chances.
You said it called decisive and instinctive. That's what head coach Willie Taggart said. So often, Jakes thinks too much. He just wanted to base his play off his instincts. And he cutting back on a sweep, getting a good block from the fullback, Kadeem Jones, and getting 8 yards.
And Kadeem Jones is a big boy leader. He looks like a guard back there at fullback. leading the way, big 32. Little toss sweep to Rainey here. Does a nice job showing patience, then cutting north and south late, putting him in a 3rd down and manageable.
Jones, a sophomore from Dundee, Florida, paving the way on the edge. And it sets up 3rd down and 4.
They had a nice cut block there on that last toss. Really opened it up for Rainey to shoot ahead for an extra 2-3 yards.
Second, 3rd down of the drive. And they empty it out. Our head official of the Sun Belt crew today is Kevin Stein.
WKU, their first charge timeout of the half.
Western Kentucky called a timeout before that.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Opening possession of the ball game in the conference opener between Western Kentucky and Arkansas State. Here at Western Kentucky, no score between the Red Wolves and the Hilltoppers. Well, the Sunbelt Network wants to get interactive with its fans, so send a tweet via Twitter to #SunBeltNet. Later in today's game, we'll pick a topic or question to answer, discuss right here on the Sunbelt Game of the Week. And that's #SunBeltNet. We'll look forward to getting your thoughts and questions this afternoon and all season long. Second, 3rd down of the drive for Western Kentucky, and Willie Taggart. Yeah, Kwan Jakes to throw, complete to Bobby Rainey. And one-on-one, races for the sideline and gets by the 40-yard line. 24-yard pickup and a 1st down for the Hilltoppers.
Full square in route to Bobby Rainey, going to hit him out of the backfield. One reason I was not surprised to see Western Kentucky take a timeout. They went 5 wides previously on 3rd and 5. Take that timeout, they put Rainey back to the backfield. Like you mentioned, Joe, a little one-on-one situation there. Kwan Jakes, nice timing on that route, solid throw. Comes up with another WKU 1st down.
Rainey, who carried the ball more than any other player in the country a season ago, started to work in as a receiver in certain formations. To get him the ball on the edge like that. 1st and 10 at the 39. Jakes looking to throw again into traffic, but it's caught by the tight end Doyle. 2nd catch of the game for him. This one goes 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Jack Doyle, solid hands. The kid that missed the last 5 games of the season last year. Such a viable target for Kwan Jakes. Jakes showing great accuracy here earlier in this ball game, really squeezing in the previous 2 passes.
Doyle already with 12 catches this season, captain of the offense. A knack for the game and a great leader. On 2nd down, dancing in the backfield, Antonio Andrews using a stiff arm to spring for the sticks. It'll depend on the spot. They'll mark him out a yard short, but great effort on a pickup of 3 or 4 yards for the sophomore from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, who has made his presence known mostly on kick returns.
You see a corner blitz. Edwards comes up from that cornerback position. He's got Rainey in the backfield, Andrews cannot come up and make the play. Key block thrown on that play also for Western Kentucky by Joel German.
And another 3rd down. The 3rd one of the drive. Andrews stays at running back, takes the fake. Jakes throws to an open man. And Kadeem Jones goes up and gets it for a 1st down.
A little bit of confusion on that Arkansas State defense with the formation change. Small play action. This is where Jakes has to make a decision. We talked about it before. There from the end zone shot. Pressure's going to come because it is a play action. Not enough people staying in the block. Nice throw and catch. Great athleticism by the big fullback there dancing on the sideline. Western Kentucky putting together a heck of an opening drive. We talked about Kwan Jakes, just make the right decision there. I mean, worst case scenario, you throw that football away. You don't want to take a sack to put yourself out of a situation where you're not going to come up with points.
And Jakes started off 5 for 5. As Western Kentucky uses its 2nd timeout of the 1st drive. Hilltoppers putting together a solid 1st possession in the conference opener from Bowling Green. Sports Network home for the New Orleans Saints. Fans here in Western Kentucky hoping that their Hilltoppers can snap the nation's longest home losing streak, 17 consecutive games. something's got to give here because Arkansas State has dropped 5 in a row on the road. Here's Willie Taggart, whose offense has moved it down to the 25, converting 3 third downs on the first drive. Bobby Rainey back into the game. And Rainey bursting through the hole and getting close to a first down. 9 yards and down to the sideline, Aaron.
Not just there so that they could put some tape on his fingers. He re-aggravated an injury from fall between his middle finger and his pointer finger, and so they just taped him up. Nothing major, just a minor injury. Now he's good to go.
Thanks, Aaron. Jake's getting the play call, and on 2nd down and 1, some substitutions for Arkansas State, a defense that finished last in the Sun Belt last year. New defensive coordinator in Dave Womack, but haven't been able to slow Western Kentucky on this first possession. It's 2nd down and 1. Jakes is perfect so far to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Deron Edwards with the coverage, but a flag flies late. He was looking for a freshman, Tyler Higbee, but the senior Edwards got in early.
There seemed to be contact before the football arrived, Joe. I like the decision, play action, take a shot at the end zone.
1. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
What do you think?
Difficult to see from that angle, but I believe contact. Here you see Edwards on the coverage. Edwards trying to make a play on the ball, but some contact before the football arrived, so.
K'Wan Jakes perfect on this opening possession, 5 for 5. It's 1st down and goal at the 2. Western Kentucky dead last in college football in red zone percentage through 3 games. The fullback, Jones, touchdown, Western Kentucky.
Wait, how big was Kadeem Jones on this drive for Western Kentucky? We saw 2 big blocks in big Bobby Rainey runs. We saw him tiptoe on the sideline, catch a football, pick up a 1st down. Now he punches in the touchdown. A big part of this offense in the opening drive for a score.
And for Jones, the sophomore, his first rushing touchdown of his career at a 21-yard touchdown catch last week. Casey Tinius on to add the extra point, and Western Kentucky 80 yards on the opening possession. Couldn't have drawn it up any better than that. 12 plays to go those 80 yards, and the Hilltoppers have an early lead. We'll be back after this. Willie Taggart's team with a statement drive to start the ball game, 7-0. Hilltoppers in front. Everything you need for the Sun Belt Conference information available online at sunbeltsports.org. Get schedules, recaps, standings, statistics, championship information, and more. You can also buy gear of your favorite Sun Belt school only at sunbeltsports.org. Here's a look at the Eric Hill Nissan scoring drive. First possession of the ball game started at the 19, took 11 plays, and most importantly for Western Kentucky, over 6 minutes, with Kadeem Jones, the fullback, getting his first career rushing touchdown to put the Hilltoppers in front.
Really like the way K'Wan Jakes and that offense mix things up. Talking to head coach Willie Taggart at the hotel last night, he says, we've had so many negative things happen here at home early in games. Had a weather storm, about an hour delay in game 1. The ambulance had to come out after the opening kickoff in the 2nd game at home. He said, we just want a way to continue momentum once the game begins.
Jesse Roy booting it away, and the return to the 25-yard line by Rod Hall of 12 yards. And Arkansas State to begin its first possession of the afternoon.
You mentioned contrast and styles in the opener, Joe, and we're about to see a little bit different deal here on offense. You're not going to see Ryan Applin under center very much. You'll see even more formations. Multiple players touch the football. I've got 16 different players on offense have touched the football for Arkansas State this season.
Ryan Applin, a junior from Tampa, Florida, the reigning Sun Belt quarterback of the year. First team all-conference a season ago. Play action on 1st down, and wide open in the flats was Josh Jarbo, but the throw didn't get there. And it's 2nd down and 10. Just under 1,000 yards so far, but one more interception than touchdown so far. A bit uncharacteristic of him. Hugh Freeze saying that he's trying to slip some balls into some tight spaces, forcing some things early on and some throws that he doesn't need to make. More than 4,000 yards in his career. Took over the starting job last year. And a quarterback draw. Slide down after 5 yards. Ended to be 3rd down and 5 for this Arkansas State offense. A wide open attack, but they like to run the football too. Derek Lawson, the key back, and a very talented wide receiving core. Jarbo, Stockamer, and Frampton, who leads the Sun Belt in catches so far with 25 to the first 4 games. Third down and 5 for Arkansas State on their first possession of the ball game. And Applin looking to throw. Derek Lawson has all kinds of space and keeps his balance for a first down. Gets past the 40-yard line. Tyree Robinson knocks him out, and a gain of 11. There's the starting skill players again for Arkansas State. Derek Lawson, the running back. Jarbo, Stockamer, and Frampton, the receivers. And Kedrick Murray at tight end. Handoff to play action as Stockamer wide open, and Stockamer with an athletic catch to the 25-yard line. Finally tackled by Kareem Peterson after a pickup of 32 yards. And it's first down and 10. It worked so quickly. We finally get to this offensive line, which had to replace 4 players from the season ago. Tom Castelaw, the only returning starter. He's in his 6th season of eligibility.
We're going to be in the end zone. You're going to be talking about tight ends here in a minute.
Applin carries it for the 2nd time, gets 8 yards.
Well, you see how important Applin can be running the football. You hear so many defensive coordinators and coaches say quarterback is the guy that's unaccounted for.
Starting defense for Western Kentucky we'll get to in a moment. Dwayne Frampton with his first touch. It is enough for a first down as he gets run out of bounds by Ryan Beer. There are the linebackers for Western Kentucky. Andrew Jackson, a guy they really like, a sophomore that leads the league in tackles and a young secondary. 2 sophomores and 2 seniors in that group. First down and 10 at the 13. Lawson with his second design run. He gets a yard or 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 or 9. Both teams trying to score on their first possession. Western Kentucky went 81 yards in about 6 minutes, and we're seeing right away the contrast in styles.
About 26 seconds here for Arkansas State. You see the tempo, just how much different it is. They want to get to the line of scrimmage quickly. If they don't like what they'll see, they'll go to the sideline and change it, but much quicker pace for the Red Wolves.
Arkansas State getting 646 yards in the win against Central Arkansas last week. They didn't punt a single time. On the quick slant, it's broken up. He looked for Josh Jarbo and got it batted away. Xavier Boyd on coverage, a linebacker moving out, defending the talented receiver.
You're going to have to do that in this defense because the formations are going to change and the personnel sometimes will stay the same. So you'll see a linebacker walk out over a receiver, or a safety come down in the box and help against the run.
Applin under center on 3rd down and 9. Drop back into the shotgun with Lawson to his left. Applin lofting it, and it's 4th down.
Surprised to see the quick throwaway there from Ryan Applin on 3rd down. But you don't want to take chances down in this area. We mentioned turnovers have been a problem for this ball club. Play it safe, put points on the board, come away successful on your opening drive. Answer that touchdown that Arkansas State had initially.
Here's the Sun Belt Special Teams Player of the Week. Brian Davis was 6 for 6 last week. And he pushed it right. After a 6 for 6 week to get named Sun Belt Player of the Week, he's wide right, and Western Kentucky keeps Arkansas State off of the board.
Yeah, big for the momentum here for Western Kentucky. You take that opening kickoff, march down the field, get a touchdown, force Arkansas State into a field goal attempt. Oh, just right.
And Davis, sophomore from Brentwood, Tennessee, reacting to only his 3rd miss of the season, 8 of 11 now. And Western Kentucky fans excited about The start to this game for the Hilltoppers, you mentioned it, Cole. The start to a game for a team that has struggled as this team has, so big.
Yeah, and the openings have just been so strange for this team. I mentioned a long weather delay, and then ambulance comes out, and they have a 20, 30-minute delay in the next home game. They're just looking for some consistency here at home.
Bobby Rainey with a gaping hole over right tackle. Adam Smith and Seth White open it up for 4 yards.
If you want consistency, there's one guy on this team, in this game, in this conference that you can point to every time. That's Bobby Rainey. Led the nation in attempts last season, leads the Sun Belt Conference in rushing yards per game this season. He's your go-to guy. He'll carry the workload. He's going to carry the team. Young man, 5'8", 205, senior out of Griffin, Georgia. He's just such a quality tailback. Great football player, great individual as well. Does a lot off the field.
Play action on 2nd down and 6. And a first down completion to Rico Brown, a redshirt freshman from Kentucky, gets 10 yards. And how about the start for K'Wan Jakes? He's 6 for 6, and confidence not an issue early.
Watch Bobby Rainey right here on the play action. He's going to pick up the blitz, gives K'Wan Jakes time to deliver that football. It's up another Hilltopper first down. Again, Bobby Rainey not even getting the football, but showing you how valuable he is to this offense.
And Jakes trying to prove his value. Completing just over 50% of his passes on this season, but he's a perfect 6 of 6 in the early going. They feed Bobby Rainey again. He gets 2 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 with Demario Davis making the tackle.
Demario Davis, a kid, you talk about an athlete, played some safety in high school, now linebacker. He played wide receiver for Arkansas State last season, had a few catches as well. Threw him a couple wide receiver screens, and he was able to help out on offense. He's just a multi-talented kid. He's been playing for 3 years now, leader on this defense. Brian Hall was preseason Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year defensive tackle for this squad a year ago. And I asked Hugh Freeze, who's taken over that leadership position? And you heard him on the conference call, Joe. He didn't hesitate. Demario Davis is that guy. He's the leader of this defense.
And a flag flies on 2nd down and 8.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Kevin Steiner had official today. That's Seth White that gets whistled for the false start. And the offensive line, a unit that offensive coordinator Zach Azzani said would benefit the most from the bye week, getting 2 weeks to toughen up, and a group that outweighs this Arkansas State defensive line by a pretty good bit. So he thinks this could be a game where they can excel.
Yeah, this offensive line averages about 6'4", 309 across the board. But again, they're in a shotgun situation there, something that you don't see a whole lot of for this Western Kentucky team. I think we'll see more of it today, like you mentioned, Joe. In the off week, going to try to implement some different things. 2nd
and 13. Jake stays perfect. And for the first time finds Dexter Haynes, who gets his first catch of the season. The junior from Folkson, Georgia, battling back from a hamstring injury, makes that catch for the tackle coming from Demario Davis.
Well, you'll see the protection coming up front here for K'Wan Jakes. Offensive line doing a nice job, but trigger blitz came late. But I like what K'Wan's doing from the sense of he's looking basically at reads 1 and 2 and distributing the football quickly, not spending a lot of time in the pocket, not thinking too much, just basically going with what works. Obviously in the off week, they simplified things for this young man.
Set up a manageable 3rd down. They need 6 yards. Tipped into the air and incomplete. The pass was broken up initially by Darrell Feemster. Then Kelsey McCray had a shot at it. It is 4th down, so Western Kentucky will have to punt for the first time.
And they have been strong on 3rd down up until this point. First time they've been 3rd and 5+. So not a great situation for this offense.
Hendricks Brakefield, sophomore, will punt it away. Dwayne Frampton waiting back for the punt. He'll get out of the way. And it rolls to a stop at the 25-yard line.
Not a great punt, but you keep the ball out of Dwayne Frampton's hands, and you've done your job. He's an electrifying player. Can definitely hurt you in the return game.
There's a flag down. Right at about midfield.
Here's the kick. Holding. Receiving team number 84. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Arkansas State.
Well, join your favorite talking football experts, Tony Barnhart, Mark Schlabach, Brady Ackerman, and Bob Neal as they give their latest analysis on football season around the South and the nation. Tune into Talkin' Football on Sundays at 8 Eastern and Talkin' SEC Football at an all-new time, Wednesdays 6:30 Eastern, only on CSS. Arkansas State drove the ball down the field with ease on its first possession of the afternoon, but a missed field goal finished that possession. They start this drive at the 14-yard line after the penalty. Gregory Thornton gets banged down in the center of the field by Jared Clendenin, only 2 yards, and it'll be second down and 8.
Clendenin and Jackson in the backfield combining for the stop on that last play. Just a 4-man front for Arkansas State. That defense spread out, so you got 6 in the box. Have to win your one-on-ones.
All kinds of cushion for Josh Jarbo. Applin takes advantage of it with Cam Thomas closing to make the tackle on an 8-yard pickup, and it is enough for a first down.
Smart play by Ryan Applin, quarterback Arkansas State. Sees that soft coverage, quickly distributes that football, allows this receiver to go out and make a play, make a move.
Jarbo, a JUCO transfer that was highly touted out of Cedar Grove High School in Georgia. And originally it signed with Oklahoma. Wound up attending junior college for a season and then moving to Arkansas State for this year. Ball is thrown behind R.J. Fleming, but he's able to pluck it out of the air. A short gain, and it'll be second down and long.
Nice pursuit by that young man right there, Jared Clendenin, defensive end. On the quick flare pass, all the way out to the sideline, getting in on that tackle. Love to see that hustle from the defensive lineman, getting from the tackle box all the way out to the paint.
Gets rid of it quickly. It's Fleming again. And Fleming slides off contact. 10 yards and a first down and his second consecutive reception. Tackle coming from Andrew Jackson again.
Hugh Freeze can be so frustrating to a defense and a defensive coordinator because so good at taking what you give him, and we've seen that on this drive to a T. He'll hit the flare routes, he'll hit the comebacks, the stops, he'll find the soft coverage. He knows how to find a hole or a weakness in that defense and just exploit it time and time again. Not afraid to dink and dunk. He knows at some point or other it's going to work.
Another quick throw. Second reception for Taylor Stockamer, getting tackled from behind by Quanterra Smith. It is enough for a first down into Western Kentucky territory.
Stockamer looks a little shaken up on the Western Kentucky sideline there. You see him, might be a cramp.
Stockamer, a junior from Van Buren, Arkansas. More than 1,100 yards receiving in his career. And got hit from behind on this play, Cole.
Just another quick pass, two-step drop. Stockamer trying to get an extra yard or two. Not sure if that right knee came down on the turf a little bit hard. Right there, left knee maybe. Difficult to tell. He's on all fours right now, so I don't know if it's a lower extremity or not. But this is a kid, he's a little banged up last year for Arkansas State. He provides a deep threat, big physical guy. Got 12 catches, 236 yards this season, 1 touchdown along with 51. We haven't called Alan Muse's name today, but you put Stockamer and Muse on both sides of the field. You got 2 guys that go over 6'4", and an offense that'll kill you sideline to sideline. You get two vertical threats like that, boy, it's puts a lot of stress on the safeties for that opposing defense. Looks like that young man's okay.
Yeah, good to see him get up under his own power. You get up to $1,200 in rebates on propane accessories. Find out how at LouisianaPropane.com. New set of downs for Ryan Applin at Arkansas State, right at midfield. Pressure on play action, and he'll have to fling it out of bounds. Boy, not sure if they're trying to set up a screen or what, but floodgates opened up.
I don't think they were trying to set up the screen. Western Kentucky has them outmanned. They bring the blitz from the far side. Really, you got 4 guys against a guard and a tackle. Not enough to pick up. Back doesn't stay in. And you go play action opposite of a blitz, and you're looking for extra time in the pocket, you're just outmanned. Ryan Applin has to know, get rid of that football early. Just go ahead and throw it away.
2nd down and 10. Another quick throw. This one a wobbler that got away from him as he did look for Alan Muse. And it will be 3rd down and 10. This is the first time that Western Kentucky has faced an offense like this. They've seen 3 run-oriented offenses, Kentucky and Navy and Indiana State. Alan Muse, part of a very talented receiving corps for Arkansas State. But Willie Taggart wasn't that concerned about how his team would handle this passing attack, having not seen it yet. At least early indications they're up to the challenge. R.J. Fleming, 3rd catch of the day, and Fleming has a 1st down. They throw into the flats and turn it into a gain of 12 and a new set of downs for Arkansas State.
Boy, more great hustle by Jared Clendenin from the defensive end spot. He's a solid 20 yards down the field making this play, and a good decision by Ryan Applin. Again, takes his time, goes through the progressions, finds a receiver out in the flat, picks up a 1st down for Arkansas State.
Applin 7 of 12 so far, 86 yards through the air. In the closing seconds of the 1st quarter, he pumps, he throws, it's complete, and a nice open field tackle by Tyree Robinson on Carlos McCants. A pickup of 7, and that will do it for this 1st quarter. Western Kentucky trying to snap a 17-game home losing streak. Punches it in on their opening possession, and the defense holding through 15 minutes. Sunbelt Conference football is being brought to you by Garvin Woodland Gardens, ranked as one of the top 10 best public gardens in the South, located in Hot Springs, Arkansas, site of the 2012 Sunbelt Conference basketball tournament. Hot Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau, Hot Springs, Arkansas, America's first resort and proud home of the Sunbelt men's and women's basketball champions. And by Atmos Energy, the largest natural gas provider in the state of Louisiana. (7-0) Western Kentucky as we start the 2nd quarter with the 10th play of the drive for Arkansas State. Possession started at the 15-yard line. And they go to the ground on 2nd down and short with Jermaine Robertson getting his 1st carry. He's short of the 1st down marker. Let's take a look at these 1st quarter stats brought to you by Louisiana Cat.
Boy, time of possession really sticks out there, Joe. 9:46 for Western Kentucky. Able to control the clock, keep this high-powered offense off of the field.
3rd down and 3. Applin has distributed the ball to 6 different receivers already. Takes the snap with the play clock winding down. Applin trying to make a move in the open field. It will depend on this spot as he went toe-to-toe with Andrew Jackson.
It's not a very favorable one. He's about a yard short. Just doesn't like what he sees initially. Thinks he can escape the pocket. Andrew Jackson breaks down, but Applin able to lunge forward for an extra yard or 2. Here you see the move on Jackson right there.
On 4th and 1. The flag came before the play. Handed it off to Robertson again.
False start. Offense.
That very well could change Hugh Freeze's decision.
1 second before the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That changes personnel at least. Go back into a more wide open set. Ben Duval had that stop on a play that won't count. And they bring in some more speed defensively to face off with his 4th down and 7.
Where you need that front four to step up and apply pressure.
Arkansas State going to take its first time out.
Time out of the hat.
So the penalty on 4th down and short, changing strategies some for Hugh Freeze. His team down 7-0 early on. Work travels to Denton, Texas next weekend, where North Texas Mean Green hosts the FAU Owls. Catch live coverage on CSS next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. If you're watching CST, we've got tape-delayed coverage on October 10th at 8 p.m. at 7 Central. Don't miss the Owls and the Mean Green from the new stadium in Denton, right there on the Sunbelt Network.
I can't wait to see that gorgeous new facility. It was under construction when we were there last year. Looks impressive.
Western Kentucky's looked impressive early on. 4th down and 6. They twist up front, and Applin finds an open man. Josh Jarbaugh on his zone-beating route combination. Hooks up in the middle, makes the catch, and the chains move.
You called it. Tackle in twist. On the right side of this defensive front, it's going to be over here. Defensive tackle goes out, defensive end comes in. Great job by center Tom Castleall coming back to help late.
R.J. Fleming with a tremendous one-handed grab. Turns what could have been a fumble into a pickup of 2.
A nice snag there. Hauls that ball in, gets ahead for a yard maybe.
It's already Fleming's 4th catch of the ball game. Second down and 9 at the 23-yard line. Second possession for Arkansas State. Missed a field goal on the first possession. Derek Lawson, it's a trick play. They throw back to Applin. He's got it. And Ryan Applin has a receiving touchdown.
What a move down on the 5-yard line by the quarterback.
23 yards. Touchdown pass from Dwayne Frampton to Ryan Applin. Usually it's the other way around.
We always hear how, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that the quarterback is the unaccounted man for in the running game. Defense doesn't have to account for him, but so many times this happens in the passing game. We see quarterbacks catch the ball out of the backfield.
Ryan Davis' extra point is good, and the trick play ties the game at 7.
Just a little reverse. Frampton, toss back to Applin. Here's the move. Little hit step inside. Applin to the touchdown.
The Sunbelt's leading receiver has a touchdown pass to tie this game at 7. Here's this week's college football lineup on Cox Sports Television. Tomorrow, a doubleheader starting with the Big East matchup at 3:30, followed by the LSU Tigers replay. Monday, FAU takes on ULL live at 7. On Tuesday, catch the Razorbacks replay, 7 o'clock. Then on Thursday, Gulf South Conference game at 11. For CST's full broadcast schedule, log on to CoxSportsTV.com. A 14-play scoring drive for this Arkansas State offense. Started at the 14-yard line. And a 23-yard trick play, a reverse pass with Ryan Applin. You said it, Cole, putting on one heck of a move after the catch to get in.
And a timely play call as well. First time we've seen Arkansas State go to the reverse today. They're going to run usually 1-2 a game, keep that defense honest. Nice throw and catch, and even better move by Applin at the end of that play to finish it across the goal line.
Bobby Zalit's kick to be fielded at the 5 by Antonio Andrews. Andrews with a seam up the sideline and a solid return past the 30. 27 yards for Andrews. And Western Kentucky begins its 3rd possession of the game.
This Western Kentucky offense has had success early in this matchup. Keep doing what you're doing. I like the way that they've been mixing it up on offense, different formations. We've seen some different personnel involved. Kadeem Jones obviously has been involved from the fullback position. Keep it simple for K1 Jakes.
They go out of the old Maryland die on this 1st down and 10. And a handoff for Bobby Rainey. Good tackle in the backfield. He's pulled down by Kashawn Lee, the middle linebacker, redshirt freshman, and the only non-senior starter on this defense. 10 seniors on a defense that finished last in the Sun Belt a season ago, but they've turned things around under defensive coordinator Dave Womack, who is in his 32nd year as a college coach.
They've gone to a more four-man front, an even front. Allows those defensive ends and linebackers to roam free a little bit more, use more athleticism. Doesn't put them in as many high-risk chances.
7th carry in the early going for Rainey and just nowhere to run. Another tackle for Kashawn Lee, who's seen really his first action in his career and is getting more and more playing time because of the way that he's playing.
Well, watch the guys up front, these defensive tackles and defensive ends just eating up blocks. That allows Lee to come in from the backside, scrapes down that line of scrimmage. Second time on this possession that we've seen him in the Western Kentucky backfield, making it difficult for the run game to get going. And this is not where Western Kentucky wants K1 Jakes to be now at 3rd and 10.
His only incompletion of the day so far came on a 3rd and long. Arkansas State brings 5. It leaves a man open, but Doyle can't get it. Diving and extending that right hand. It's 4th down.
Boy, right down the seam. A nice job picking up the blitz by the Western Kentucky offensive line. Jakes just a little bit excited, amped up, overthrows Doyle. We saw 2 of these in the opener against Kentucky, both potentially touchdowns that were overthrown. Definitely would have been a first down there, but Western unable to convert.
And so the punt team back onto the field. Hendricks Brakefield, sophomore and a captain of the special teams. High spiraling kick. Backs Dwayne Frampton inside his 10. Slips one tackle. Gets a block. Gets another down the sideline with blockers in front. And Dwayne Frampton finally knocked out of bounds at the 50 on a return of 41 yards.
Boy, heck of a return by Frampton. And I mentioned on the last punt that was a win when the ball rolled around, even though it was short. You don't want the ball in this guy's hands. So quick, so elusive, finds the sideline. Look at a few more blocks down here, cuts back inside. Nice return.
The redshirt freshman Kelsey Collins delivered that second big block. Well, earlier in the broadcast, we asked you to get interactive via Twitter. Today's tweet comes from Jay Weldon 93. He asks, is Bobby Rainey the most durable running back in college football? He used hashtag SunBeltNet to ask that question. Cole, I mean, you look at the numbers and those speak volumes.
It's tough to argue that he's not. He led the nation in carries a season ago. You never heard this club even talk about him being nicked up, missing practice. We're going to back the carries off. We're going to back the workload off of Bobby Rainey a little bit. Never heard them make any kind of statements like that. And now you look at this season, he's extended his 100-yard game streak to 8, tying a record held by Antoine Floyd. He can set the school record today if he goes over 100 yards. So I would say he has to be in the discussion as the most durable running back in college football.
Josh Jarboe makes the catch as Ryan Applin sneaks it between 2 defenders inside the 10. 38 yards, and it's 1st and goal.
That's the big-time throw by Ryan Applin. He knows the safety's going to be there to help, hoping he'll be there late. Hits Jarboe on that seam route down the sideline.
Jarboe's 3rd catch of the afternoon. Applin 12 of 17, 154. On 1st down and goal. Hesitation and then an acceleration from Jermaine Robertson, senior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, getting just 1. Tackled by Jared Clendenin, and it's 2nd down and goal.
A lot of times you'll see these spread offenses struggle in the red zone. One thing that I like, head coach Hugh Freeze, who's also offense coordinator, calls the plays. He'll continue to mix it up down inside the 5, inside the 10-yard line. He doesn't allow the play calling to bog his team down.
They finished 10 for 10 in the red zone against Central Arkansas last week.
Didn't punt the football.
Apple into the end zone. Looked for Stockamer, who was defended by Cam Thomas. Third down and goal.
You go an entire game and you don't punt.
I don't care who you're playing.
It doesn't matter. That's execution at its best.
Hard count might have drawn him off.
Replay, just lob it.
He does, and it's broken up. Cam Thomas with a solid defensive play again. Well, they'll get a little bit closer and have another shot at third down.
Great discipline by the offensive line, center Tom Castelaw. It's a hard count. You're waiting for that defense to draw. This play was purple when I played.
Offsides. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Replay. Third down.
So the offensive line, they don't even have a play. They don't have a scheme, so there's nothing to think about. All you think about is you watch the ball. If it's snapped, you either go down and slide protect, or you don't move at all. Allow the quarterback take that football, do exactly what Applin did there, lob it, take a chance. It's a free play. And you got a guy in Stockamer 6'4 plus, why not go ahead and lob it to him, see if he can win a jump ball.
Against the 6'1 Cam Thomas, who defends him to the bottom of your screen on third and goal at the 5. And a penalty flag flies. A few seconds still left on the play clock.
Prior to the snap. False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Alex Kautai, one of 4 new starters on this offensive line, takes him right back to third down and goal at the 10.
Hate to see that down inside the 10. Obviously making it a little more difficult now. That'll stall a drive.
Giving Arkansas State some more room to work with. Applin pumps. Shovels it off, but it's batted down by Bo Adebayo as he looked for his running back, Derek Lawson. And Adebayo, a senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, who's in his first season as a starter, strung that play out and batted it down to set up 4th and goal.
Well, I like how he doesn't run to the quarterback. See, he runs flat here. He's running flat with Applin basically to push him to the sidelines. You know eventually Ryan Applin's going to run out of space, and he's going to have to throw the football or lose yardage by going out of bounds. Heads up play by the young man.
27-yard attempt for Brian Davis, who's 0 for 1 today. He's 1 for 2, and Arkansas State has its first lead. The Red Wolves in front 10-7 midway through this second quarter in the conference opener from Bowling Green, Kentucky. For Arkansas State to take their first lead of the ball game, 9:40 remaining in this first half. This copyrighted telecast of the Sun Belt Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the Sun Belt Conference, CST, and CSS. Let's look at the Eric Hill Nissan scoring drive. 5 plays, 37 yards, set up by the excellent return from Dwayne Frampton. Special teams, such an understated part of the game oftentimes, but Hugh Freeze talking to us this week called about how good his special teams have been so far and how important it has been.
Well, they have. You mentioned 6 field goals a week ago. We've already seen quality returns today. Great on coverage as well. And I like the way that Hugh Freeze stays with the momentum. You get a big return, take that shot to Jarbo early, all of a sudden you're in field goal position, they capitalize.
Tyree Robinson with his first return of the day. It's hemmed in and dropped down to the 20-yard line. 16-yard return. Western Kentucky back on offense. Hilltoppers scored on their first drive of the ball game. More than 10 plays, more than 6 minutes, exactly how they draw it up, and they've had no success with the ground game since then.
No, they haven't, and I feel like a lot of the formations, they have been bottling up the defense. So by alignment, they're forcing 7-8 guys into the box. Spread this defense out, then try to get Bobby Rainey going.
You know, like you talked about during the open, play action is so key. When you're packing him in there, that's got to be a viable option.
Yeah, and he's had a few. Missed a couple on play action. We saw him convert a few. Speaking of K1 Jakes, off play action.
Oh, Maryland die again. Here's some play action. Getting chased, but getting rid of it incomplete. Looking for his tight end, Doyle. He was getting chased down from behind by Demario Davis. Second down and 10. Jake started off 7 of 7. He's 0 for his last 3.
He's cooled off a little bit, and things haven't been as comfortable for him. He's had a little bit of pressure. He's been in some long conversion downs situations. So you want to make this kid comfortable in the pocket. Make his decisions easy.
In his 3rd season as a starter, has had to endure a lot. 2-10 last season, 0-3 so far this year. On second down and 10, will throw again. His tight end, Jack Doyle, rumbles ahead for 11 yards and a first down and a stick combo.
A lot of times you put Bobby Rainey in the slot, he's going to gain attention. So you got Rainey up here in the slot. Doyle at tight end comes right underneath. Nice throw and catch. Good decision by Jakes there. Quickly distributes that football.
And taking advantage of the play calls against this zone put out there by Zach Azani. His quarterback, Kwan Jakes, 8 of 11 so far. Confidence, the biggest key with this guy. The confidence was sky high through those first 7 attempts. Bobby Rainey, the running back. They fake the draw. Pocket collapses and will toss it away. Bringing up second down and 10.
And this is the formation that I think Western Kentucky is going to be able to have to run the football against. You spread them out a little bit. It's just a base 4-2 defense. You see some of the defensive linemen for Arkansas State just getting a push. Dorvis Woods there and Amos Draper both getting a push on the interior of that Western Kentucky offensive line. That forces Jakes to get rid of that football a little bit early. But you get a one tight end, one back set, 11 personnel. You should be able to run the football against a 4-2 defense, 6 in the box, which is what Western has seen the past few plays.
Somewhat surprisingly, only 8 carries for Bobby Rainey so far. Here's number 9 on a stretch play. And taken down viciously. Short pickup. The tackle coming from Don Jones, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
Nice pursuit by Don Jones and A.J. Hills from the free safety spot for Arkansas State. Rainey does a great job of bouncing these balls outside and then finding a way to get north and south late. So many backs you'll see him just drift to the sideline. Rainey's almost always going to turn it upfield, try to get a few extra yards regardless of how many hits he'll take. Here's another 3rd and 9. This is not the situation that Western Kentucky wants to be in.
Jakes evades pressure, has room, but gets chased down and decked out of bounds by Nigel Bird. Got 7 yards, but it's 4th and 2. My goodness, how about the closing speed from Bird?
Big time from Nigel Bird at that strong linebacker position, because initially this looked like a first down and more for Kwan Jakes. I like the decision to just tuck the ball and run. He had plenty of green out in front, but Nigel Bird closes the gap, keeps the Hilltoppers from obtaining a first down.
Dwayne Frampton had a monster return his last time. There is a flag flying on the snap. He muffs it. It looks like it's recovered by Western Kentucky. Darius Brooks fell on it. And depending on the penalty, Western Kentucky might have just come up with a huge play. Officials conferring near midfield.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the backfield. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
Boy, that kills Cole, especially when that had no bearing on the end of the play.
Absolutely. You're going to take over possession around the 13, 12-yard line. Now all of a sudden you're going to back it up and kick it again. Very frustrating.
As Willie Taggart shows you with his reaction. So this team is way better than they've shown through 3 games.
Not only that, but now you got Frampton with a little bit more room to operate. And we've seen already in this game what he's able to do when he has the ball in his hands.
He had a 43-yard return the last time he touched it. Have a chance from the 24. Good job of the special teams coverage from Western Kentucky. Big hit coming on the sideline from C.J. Odom.
Yeah, it's close there on the sidelines, but I like the hustle by Odom. He's going to get that hit in either way.
Reed Boyd also in there on the tackle. The brother of Western Kentucky linebacker Xavier Boyd. Midway through this second quarter, Arkansas State enjoying its first lead of the afternoon. Arkansas State in front of Western Kentucky 10-7 in the conference opener here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Let's take a look at the Fast 5 points on the Sun Belt Conference, brought to you by Fast 5. Own it on Blu-ray and DVD October 4th. The chance for respect as you see the games, non-conference games this afternoon. North Texas coming off that big win against Indiana. Memphis faces Middle Tennessee, and then UAB against in-state opponent Troy. The national recognition, we talked about Brian Davis last week, the Lou Groza Award Star of the Week. He was 6 of 6 on field goals. Conference expansion, of course, a hot topic. South Alabama will join the conference in 2012. And also 3 teams in bowl games last year. How about the win FIU got in the Little Caesars Bowl? And the end of an era. Howard Schnellenberger retires as coach at FAU at the end of the season. First down and 10 at the 30. R.J. Fleming has got his 5th catch of the afternoon already. Upended at the 35 by Xavier Boyd on a 5-yard pickup, but it's second down and 5.
Yeah, with a fake little jet toss underneath and then just go right back to him. Didn't really see the fake there, but just hits him in the flat quickly. Nice job there by corner coming up making a stop.
And how about Andrew Jackson streaking in to make the stop to make it 3rd down and 4. Jackson, a sophomore, leading the Sun Belt with 38 tackles on the season now. Played in just 1 game a season ago, but a guy that his coaching staff loves. They say a definition of a true football player. 3rd and 4, Josh Jarboe with a first down reception. They convert again on 3rd down, and the DBs for Western Kentucky, part of the concern was the big play, but it almost seems like that thought is hurting them on these situations.
Well, it is, and because of the tempo and because of the pace and the personnel, a lot of times you have to back off as a secondary, and sometimes you're just not lined up correctly.
Adebayo tackles Applin in the quarterback keep. Applin's 4th carry of the game. He's got 20 yards now. Led the team in rushing last week in the win against Central Arkansas.
See how difficult this offense is to defend, though. Just the amount of different looks and different plays that we have seen in less than 1/2 of football. You got to have your kids coached up, or you're going to give up big plays, and we've seen that as well.
2nd down and 8. Applin given all day. Pressure from the backside, and down he goes. Sacked by Quanterus Smith, a junior from Loganville, Georgia. It's a loss of 9. And this Western Kentucky defense, which has not faced a legitimate passing offense through 3 games, seeing their first and making some impact plays up front.
Yeah, a little swim and dip from Q Smith up top. Came in with a 1/2 sack on the season. That'll be his first solo sack. Nice job just winning that 1-on-1.
3rd and long, they get Dwayne Frampton in space. He's belted out of bounds by Keontae Young. The 5-yard pickup, but it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, you can see the momentum on the Western Kentucky defense picking up a little bit, rising. These kids getting excited now. A couple big hits, you get a sack. First real negative play for the Arkansas State offense today. Hilltopper bunch is pumped.
Beg your pardon, 4th down and long. The first time in 2 weeks Arkansas State has had the punt. Neely Sullivan. Antonio Andrews catches on the run, bursts through the defense. Andrews past the 40.
Boy, high risk, high reward for Antonio Andrews there. Fields this ball on the run, going into traffic, but comes away with the catch, fields the punt, ends up getting a decent return there as well.
It's a return of 20 to the 41-yard line with 4:44 remaining in this first half. K'Wan Jakes back out at quarterback.
On the Western Kentucky side.
It's got to be Bobby Rainey here, Joe. Got to get Bobby Rainey going.
Rainey's been bottled up. This is only his 10th carry of the game. Breaking it outside and falling forward for extra yardage. Tackled by A.J. Hills on a pickup of 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, solid job by Adam Smith, 76, right guard, pulling around there, staying with his block after the initial contact. That allowed Bobby Rainey to bounce that ball outside, get ahead for a few extra yards. These are the down and distance scenarios that Western Kentucky wants to be in. That's 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, much more manageable for K'Wan Jakes at the quarterback position.
It's Rainey again. Rainey getting the edge. A flag flies as he's running to bounds short of the first down. Gets only 2 yards, and I've been really impressed early on with the speed of this Arkansas State defense.
They can get sideline to sideline, and you have to give credit to that front four eating up some of the blockers, tying up that Western Kentucky offensive line, not allowing them to get to second level. That allows those linebackers and safeties to run sideline to sideline the way that they do.
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
Seth White called for that penalty. Aaron's got something on the sideline.
Thanks, Joe. During fall camp, Coach Taggart actually brought in a lot of former players to talk and try to motivate his team. One of them was Patrick Reynolds, who was a member of the 2002 1AA National Championship team. In that meeting, he took off his championship ring, he put it on the table, and he told this entire Western Kentucky team that he wasn't putting it back on until they won a conference championship. Since then, about 6 others have done the same thing. Coach Taggart and the president of Western Kentucky University is among them. Up to you.
It's easy to forget this is only the 3rd season as a full FBS member, as that pass is just out of the reach of a diving Dexter Haynes, and it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Pressure on Jakes. Nice job staying in the pocket there. Knows he's going to take a hit, but ball just sails on him a little bit more. You see the double barrel blitz, both inside linebackers coming up the gut. Just out of the reach.
You see there, 1913 is when they started playing football here on the hill, as they say. In the Sun Belt 2009, full member of FBS a season ago. Hand off to Rainey on 3rd and long, and they'll get what they can. It's just 5 yards as he's wrestled down from behind by Dorvis Woods. 4th down to a chorus of boos from the near side of the field, but a conservative call there.
It's just a draw play here. It's a 3-point game. You've got 3 minutes until the half. You're going to punt this football away, try to play some defense here. You cannot take a chance backed up in your own territory with K'Wan Jakes making a mistake. I don't know if Arkansas State is barking out cadence or what, but they just forced more than one Western Kentucky punt team member to jump early.
And penalty on Western Kentucky, their 5th of the ball game. There's Willie Taggart, who's in his 2nd season, his first 2 recruiting classes at Western Kentucky, rated by Rivals.com as the best in the Sun Belt. You see when you meet this guy, just a glowing personality that I think really appeals to young kids. Wakefield's punt, a short one. It's going to be a flag. That's the same guy that recovered the fumble, Darius Brooks, recovered the fumble on the muff punt that was brought back because of a penalty. And here Brooks nails him. It'll draw the 6th penalty of the game on Western Kentucky.
And I don't think this is malicious, Joe. I think the kid just hustles, didn't see the fair catch. Obviously, a second or two late there. They're not going to let you take a free shot at a guy that fair catches a punt.
Following the fair catch, personal foul, late hit, kicking team, 15 yards from the end of the catch. 1st down.
On the flip side to the scenario that we just discussed, as you'll see, there's the fair catch. And about a second and a half later, the hit. The scenario we just discussed of about 2.5 minutes left, you're going to punt, force this team to take it to the half up 3. Now you give them the football at the 34-yard line. And the way this offense moves, they have a legitimate chance to put more points on the board. Plenty of time to do it. Time will not be an issue here for Arkansas State.
One of only 4 teams in the country with 2 600-yard games this season. Pocket holds for Applin. Down the field into double coverage. It's dropped by Brooks, who had a chance to atone for his mistake. Yeah, Stockamer was the intended receiver, but Applin getting a bit greedy there.
Yeah, I agree. It's double coverage. It's obvious double coverage. And if your quarterback, look at the double coverage, you see it there, 2 defenders. If your quarterback is going to take that type of a risk, you must make him pay. Nice position by Brooks. Goes up, cannot hold on to that football. Had 1 interception coming into this game, 1 pass breakup as well.
Had 2 interceptions of Ryan Applin a season ago. Done a big first half for that guy. R.J. Fleming gets 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 6 with 2+ in this first half. Fleming has had some hamstring issues. Did practice all week, so close to 100% really for the first time this year.
Nice tackle by Tyree Robinson on that last play. Just a quick flare to the back. He fights through the block of the receiver.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 5. Stockamer dropped the football, and it's 4th down.
Tough break for Arkansas State. Had Stockamer over the middle. Looked like it would have been just enough for a first down. Unable to convert. Now Arkansas State will punt it away.
And again, on the flip side, this is not a situation where Western Kentucky's comfortable. Less than 2 minutes in the half. Depending on the return, needing to go a decent distance. Hoping that Antonio Andrews can get him a solid return, but it's a short kick. Almost touches a Western Kentucky player.
If you're Antonio Andrews, you have to be up 2-3 yards away from that ball, warning your teammates, poison, 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 get away from the football. Cannot allow your coverage team to be trotting down the field so close to that football.
Well, follow the Sun Belt Conference on Twitter and Facebook for all the latest updates from around the league and get scores, facts, standings, statistics, and more. Be sure to get the inside scoop by following us at twitter.com/@thesunbelt and head over to facebook.com/thesunbeltconference. And of course, you can tweet at us here in the booth and on the broadcast at #SunBeltNet all season long. Arkansas State going to use a timeout with 1:39 remaining in this first half. Western Kentucky scoring on its opening possession to go up 7-0. Not much doing since then. Arkansas State getting 10 in a row to take the lead. Well, coming up at the Sprint halftime report, we'll talk to Dr. Gordon Emsley, Provost, Vice President for Academic Affairs at Western Kentucky University. A feature on Arkansas State offensive lineman Tom Castelaw. Interesting guy. We've talked about him a little bit so far today, but you hear more at halftime. Of course, first half stats and highlights as well. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Well, you said it, Joe. If you are Western Kentucky, do you take the chance here? Do you run the risk of trying to push the ball down the field, maybe come away with points? 1:39 left. 3-point deficit at home. They're going to challenge the ruling on if this touchdown.
Well, the player in question is Andrew Pettyjohn, who's a sophomore receiver, number 87. Hard to tell.
The problem for Arkansas State is going to be this has to be definitive. Has to be obvious if you're going to overturn this, and I don't think from any of these angles you're going to see that. Now, replay booth has the benefit of seeing another angle or two that we won't see. I don't think you're going to be able to get a good enough definition of whether or not that football definitively touched someone or not.
Hugh Freeze looks on. He was not happy with the way that his team played in the first half against Central Arkansas last week. And I can't say that he'd be upset with the way they've played today. I think Western Kentucky, in Willie Taggart's eyes, starting to play how they're capable of, and they've not over the first 3 games.
I think consistency will be what Willie Taggart talks to his bunch about going into the half. Hey, we came out, we had a great start. We got things going early. We just have to keep the momentum going, keep our foot on the gas.
Kaywan Jake started off 7 of 7. He's 1 for his last 5 with 70 yards through the air. Pocket holds this time. Now starts to collapse on the left to throw it away with a flag flying. And might not have gotten out of the pocket there. We'll see what the officials say, but there is a flag down.
Now pressure coming from Dorvis Woods, 92. Big 6'3", 265-pound senior. Working on right guard Adam Smith. Dorvis Woods was a guy, 92, that really showed flashes last season of being a big-time player, a defensive tackle. Stuck in that 3-4 defense last year. He's not a true nose guard, more of a defensive tackle, behind a couple other big-time players. Split time, but this year he's been the kid that they can really rely on inside.
If this is on Western Kentucky, which we assume it is, it'll be their 6th penalty of the first half. They're 8th out of 9 teams in the Sun Belt in penalties.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 75. That penalty is declined. Intentional grounding, offense. That's a spot foul. Loss of down. 2nd down.
We heard Kevin Stein say lost it down. That's the reason they declined the face mask and take the intentional grounding penalty that'll back Western Kentucky up to its own 21-yard line.
Yeah, 2 key words there, 2 key phrases like you mentioned, loss of down and spot foul. You don't have to rely on penalty yardage, so to speak, but that loss of down key as well. You're going to give Western Kentucky one less opportunity to make something happen here on offense before the half. Not a happy man there.
Willie Taggart looks on, 2nd down. In about 18 yards. Arkansas State has 1 timeout, so does Western Kentucky. And Bobby Rainey, just no room to run. Rainey with his 12th carry of the half, only 39 yards. 8 consecutive 100-yard games ranging back to last season. Now, caveat to that is that Arkansas State has not allowed a 100-yard rusher this year.
And Dorvis Woods again inside, and this is just really front 4 working against the front 5 of Western Kentucky. And those big boys up front, Greg McCall, Dorvis Woods, Brandon Joyner, Justin Robertson, able to get penetration, not let Rainey bust loose.
Play clock down to 5. And the play clock ran out. Another penalty on Western Kentucky. 7th one of the first half on Willie Taggart's squad.
It's frustrating. And as you know, Joe, we'll see those pop up here on the screen in the second half around into the 3rd quarter. You cannot commit penalties and expect to win football games. I think even more frustrating, this is a situation where you're just trying to get to the half. 43 seconds.
The field position becomes important.
It definitely does, because if Arkansas State has 15, 20 seconds on the clock and they get the ball around the 50, 45-yard line, they'll take some chances.
By rule, since we're under 1 minute timing, that foul also requires a 10-second runoff. However, Arkansas State has elected to decline the 10-second runoff.
So what Kevin Stein is explaining there, 10-second runoff by rule inside of a minute on a false start, on a penalty, but Arkansas State has the option to decline that runoff and leave 43 seconds in this half as Willie Taggart looks on and hopes.
Third and 20. I think you'll keep the 10 seconds as opposed to making it 3rd and 25.
Another flag flies at the start of the play. Antonio Andrews horse collared down to the ground. A loss of 2 yards with Don Jones making the tackle.
Andrews looks a little shaken up as well.
Number 65, 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
That one goes on Ryan Carruthers. And so, Cole, what is the rule on horse collar tackles?
Well, if you get the collar of the jersey to pull the player down or the pads behind the neck, that's obviously a personal foul. But I think there what you saw is a player had the middle of the back of the jersey and was able to bring Andrews down that way. He didn't necessarily use the collar of the jersey to use leverage to pull the player down from behind. I think that was actually a nice job by the official of not calling a horse collar penalty on that last tackle.
Well, Andrews, who's the man down right now, missed a good chunk of camp with a hamstring injury and is just now starting to get back to 100%. Very athletic player. He's given him a boost in the return game all season, and today in particular with a nice return and a punt, taking a chance. And in the closing seconds of this first half, getting tended to by the training staff. Don't miss another action-packed weekend of football on CSS. Next Saturday, it's Memphis versus Rice at 12:30 Eastern, followed by Maine at James Madison. That's at 4 o'clock. That's another live Sunbelt game. Cole, Aaron, and I will be at North Texas as FIU takes on the Mean Green at 7:30. All on CSS, the face of college sports in the South. How about North Texas, Cole, getting the win over Indiana last week?
Dan McCarney's first win as head coach there for the Mean Green. He's an intense, fiery guy. I expect he'll do some good things out there in Denton, Texas. But a big win nonetheless. Like you mentioned, you get not only your first win, but over a Big Ten opponent as well. Very exciting.
Good to see Andrews pulled up, but it doesn't look good. Sophomore from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I'm really excited about this kid. And not only does he give you a lot in the return game, but he gives Bobby Rainey a chance to get some rest when he's healthy.
Well, I think that's one reason we're seeing him here in the game now. This is a scenario where they're just trying to run some clock, get to the half. Don't want to risk Bobby Rainey at this point.
It is Rainey. The edge gets sealed by Wes Jeffries. And Rainey might have lost the ball at the end of the play. At the 27-yard line. Arkansas State thought that they had it, but Western Kentucky somehow got back on top.
Would have been a huge break for the Red Wolves if they did. Their ball is definitely out.
That's Deron Edwards just ripping it away from Rainey.
So difficult to really tell who actually falls on the ball so many times or ends up with the ball.
How about that play for the senior Edwards out of Baltimore, reaching in and just sheer will tugging it out of there.
Just yanked it right out. That's what you're supposed to do as a defender. And at this point in the game, as a ball carrier, you know both hands on the ball protected. That's devastating if Arkansas State were to take over right here. Automatic field goal position. Could definitely take a shot or two at the end zone.
You set up a return or you bring it?
For me personally, I'm a fan of setting up the return in this situation when you have this type of an offense.
Hendricks Brakefield, a couple of them have just barely gotten away. They have 8 men in the interior. Looks like going to bring some pressure. They back off. Another good one from Brakefield. A flag flying as Frampton dances around. And gets tackled by the Shoelaces at the 30 on a pickup of 9. And now more flags fly with some extracurriculars off of your screen at the end of the play. Arkansas State player Artez Brown got his helmet ripped off. All kinds of penalties with 6 seconds showing on this first half clock.
I think we saw 7 penalties in the last 2 minutes of this game.
There's about 9 of them on the ground right now. There's one that came from the back judge all the way behind Frampton on the return. And then more came after that, what seemed like an unrelated play.
So you'll see the Gunners at the top of your screen, right? There's the takedown. That was the initial flag, and then I think, like you mentioned, Joe, a little pushing and shoving after the play maybe drew the next flag or two.
So what's the ruling on that play, keeping in mind that Western Kentucky's the punting team? And it's a Western Kentucky player that throws down the Arkansas State player.
Well, it's a hold.
Okay.
First and foremost, you grab jersey, you bring a guy to the ground, it's a holding, regardless if you're punt team, punt return team. But you could be looking at some
There are multiple fouls on the play.
personal fouls as well.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 10. That foul will be penalized 10 yards from the end of the kick. Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 40, Western Kentucky, he is also ejected for fighting.
Wow.
That's Brady Boyd that has been thrown out of the game.
And that's retaliation is what that is. It's a retaliation penalty. He was thrown to the ground. He was held. Obviously got up and retaliated.
On the top part of your
It's
screen.
gonna be up here. I don't know what part of the action we're actually catching there. You already see one flag on the ground right there.
And Boyd, a sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida, the brother of outside linebacker Xavier Boyd, gets ejected from this game. And Arkansas State, with only 6 seconds, will just take a knee.
An odd turn of events here in the last minute and a half of this ball game.
Western Kentucky scored the first 7 points of the ball game on their first drive. Arkansas State responding and taking a lead into halftime. Here's Aaron with Coach Freeze.
Thanks, Joe. Coach, your thoughts on that first half?
Well, typical Sun Belt battle. You know, it's never a given that I don't think we played particularly well, particularly in the running game. We've got to get in and find a way to run the football some. And so getting to Apple, not too.
Defensively, though, how impressed are you at the way your guys have been?
And after the first drive, and seemed like we got some 3 and outs, and we're able to stop the run game right now. And they came close to getting a couple big throws on us, but didn't. So pleased with how they settled in and are playing.
All right, thank you.
10-7 Arkansas State after 30 minutes in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Sprint halftime report is next to the Sun Belt Game of the Week. Doyle had 3 catches during the first half, but Arkansas State scoring 10 unanswered to lead 10-7. Getting ready to start the second half of play. What are you looking for early on in this second half, Cole?
Bobby Rainey, if you're Western Kentucky, get him back in the game. He was a crucial part in the first drive, maybe the first 2 drives. You've got to get him back implemented into this football game.
Aaron is down to the sideline. There's Coach Taggart. Some difficulties with our microphone down there. Apologize for that. But Coach Taggart, Cole, I think certainly got to be happy despite his team down by 3. Really got to be happy with the performance after 3 disappointing games.
Oh, absolutely. But like I mentioned before we went to the half, first 2 drives started out okay for this squad, and then really you just got bogged down in the mud. You have to ramp it back up, continue to be creative, continue to mix it up, do different things on offense. You've got to find a way to slow down Arkansas State on offense. Limit the big plays. Get to Ryan Applin. Have we seen Ryan Applin get hit today? I don't think we've seen Ryan Applin knocked down one time today. The front 4 from Western Kentucky has to step it up. They did get the 1 sack, but they have not gotten to Ryan Applin enough.
Western Kentucky won the toss this afternoon, received to open the first half, so Willie Taggart's team will kick it away opening half number 2, trailing by 3, trying to get their first win in this stadium under Willie Taggart. It'll be the first win since 2008 for the Hilltoppers in Bowling Green. Jesse Roy to kick it away and get the second half started. It's a short kick that will bounce out of bounds in a patient play for Rod Hall to watch it happen. Excellent field position for Arkansas State to start the half.
What a heads-up play by Rod Hall, return man. Let that ball bounce. I don't think he initially let it bounce. It was a short kick. But he sees that it's directing towards the sideline, let it go. Obviously, that ends up in a penalty.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The receiving team will take the ball 30 yards from the previous spot. First down, Arkansas State.
So we pick up right where we left off before the half.
9th penalty on Western Kentucky, Cole.
Penalties.
So drive starts at the 40 for Arkansas State, working into the shadows. They swing it to Dwayne Frampton. They got a good block from Josh Jarbo. Picked up 3 or 4 yards on first down, second down and 6. Arkansas State during that first half, 209 yards, 201 of them were through the air. Now it's a spread team, but typically they like to run it more than they did.
Oh, like to run the football, obviously. And what happens is you get caught up in some of these big plays, and the statistics don't show the rush like you attempted to.
They fake the sweep. Yeah, Derek Lawson is tackled by Ryan Beard. Beard, a senior from right here in Bowling Green, and one of only 10 seniors on the entire team. They call him Granddad, third season as a starter. Bowling Green High School, played for the Purples.
Dangerous situation to see your free safety or your strong safety up, making tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and 7. Applin scrambling short of the first down. Andrew Jackson hit him first as he got 4 yards, but it'll be 4th down. And Western Kentucky with a stop that they just spent 15 minutes probably talking about.
Andrew Jackson, you'll see him come up here from the top of your screen. Good protection initially up front by the offensive line. They form the pocket. Nobody home for Applin, but look at the closing speed by Andrew Jackson. Just a nice job of recognizing that Applin wanted to leave the pocket.
And a rugby-style kick as they bring in Ryan Wilborn to do so. And Antonio Andrews out of the ball game. Chaz Scales back to return it, but they'll let it bounce down to the 12. 3 and out for Arkansas State to start the second half. Western Kentucky takes over down by 3 when you come back. Sunbelt Conference football is being brought to you by Garvin Woodland Gardens, ranked as one of the top 10 best public gardens in the South, located in Hot Springs, Arkansas, site of the 2012 Sunbelt Conference basketball tournament. Hot Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau, Hot Springs, Arkansas, America's first resort and proud home of the Sunbelt men's and women's basketball champions. And by Napa Auto Parts, get the good stuff. Western Kentucky gets the stop to start the second half. Offense takes the field for the first time. Hilltoppers haven't scored since their first possession of the game when K'Wan Jakes was red hot. He started 7 of 7, 1 for 6 since then. This drive begins at the 12. Bobby Rainey with his 14th carry of the game, hitting the hole hard and getting across the 20. Didn't have that much space at any point during the first half.
No, he did not. Nice hole opened up by that Western Kentucky offensive line. And I really believe it's going to have to be the Bobby Rainey show for Western Kentucky here in the second half.
6th all-time in school history. Willie Taggart, head coach for Western Kentucky, is 3rd all-time, even though he was a quarterback back in the 90s. Rainey carried it 340 times a season ago and already up above 90 carries this year. 2nd and short. Rainey again, but this time in interior of that defensive line, shuts things down, and it'll be 3rd down and short. Willie Taggart, one of 4 football players to have his jersey retired here at Western Kentucky. 11 school records that he set during his time there, and they've got a big old banner of him hanging outside of the stadium here in Bowling Green.
Heck of a football player Willie Taggart was, and solid coach like you mentioned. He's a very personable guy, likable guy. Spent some time coaching out at Stanford. Great relationship with the Harbaugh family. That's why you see the West Coast offense implemented here in Bowling Green.
On 3rd and 1, Rainey with a 1st down. He's tackled by DeMario Davis, but Rainey early on. We go down to the sideline with Aaron.
Joe, an update on Antonio Andrews, who's injured for Western Kentucky just before the half. They are doing x-rays on his ankle. We are awaiting the results. As soon as the team doctor comes out and tells me, I'll let you guys know.
All right, thanks, Aaron. That's Antonio Andrews, sophomore kick returner and the backup running back to Bobby Rainey. Went down late in that 2nd quarter. Rainey having to carry the load. Nothing new for him, though.
No, absolutely not.
First down at the 25. And out of the eye, 4th straight carry for Rainey. Another tackle for DeMario Davis, 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
DeMario Davis, such an active linebacker. Physical enough to come mix it up with those big hog mollies in the middle. 6'3", 230, senior. Came into this game with 18 tackles. I mentioned before, just such a solid athlete. Kid actually played wide receiver for this team last year. Caught a few passes as well.
Making his 27th consecutive start. One of the most experienced players on a very experienced defense. Against the corner blitz. Jake's taking a shot, and it's intercepted. Daryl Feemster with his 2nd pick of the season. And Jakes turns it over for the 1st time. That's his 7th interception this year. Arkansas State will take over at the 35.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. Arkansas State brings the blitz. I'm not sure what Juwan Jakes is reading here. Blitz picked up. You see both backs helping in protection. Just trying to take a chance downfield, but you have to see that coverage and know that the opportunity is just not there. If you pull your receiver to the middle of the field for your safety going to come help. Nice positioning by the corner to come up with that interception and the turnover.
Feemster, a JUCO transfer in his 1st season as a full-time starter, gets the pick. And Applin with the ball back in his hands. With a pump fake, gets open space. Ryan Applin led the team in rushing last week with 80 yards. Gets 20 here. And a 1st down into Western Kentucky territory.
Boy, what a ball fake there by Ryan Applin. That one little pump fake with the football throws off Andrew Jackson. Applin able to cut back inside, picks up at least an extra 10, 12 yards.
And Applin going to come out of the game. He'll go out of the Wildcat with Dwayne Frampton back there. Frampton straight ahead. Upended after pickup of 6 or 7 with the tackle coming from Kareem Peterson.
See what this hit looks like for Ryan Applin towards the end of this play. He goes to the slide. Takes a little knee to the head after, and it didn't look like it was that bad, but not sure if it shook him up a little bit. He's back in the game. He's fine. I'm thinking that was a little bit of a sales job trying to drag a flag.
We said Wildcat. Coach Freeze calls that the Rabid Wolf. Yeah, and another sack for Quanterra Smith on a loss of 5. It's his 2nd of the game. 2.5 this season now. A guy that led the team with 4 last year. Has provided depth to the defensive end position so far in 2011.
Up top right there, just a speed rush for Quanterra Smith. He's going to beat right tackle Zach McKnight around the edge.
3rd down and 9, probably a free play. Applin looking for Stockamer. And it's intercepted by Tyree Robinson, but he's going to flag down at the start of the play.
It's the perfect defense when you feel like people are jumping your snap count. You go to the freeze play again. We saw it earlier. Offensive linemen just stay neutral.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
It just goes to show you there. They think they've got Quanterre Smith jumping the snap. You go to the hard count. He jumps, snap the football. Applin takes a shot deep. Great play call by Hugh Freeze. That'll slow down the pass rush.
3rd down and 4. Arkansas State is 3 of 9 on 3rd down today. Now Western Kentucky looking for another big stop.
Blitz coming from the top.
Quarterback draw, nothing doing. The interior stout, and it's 4th down. A loss of a yard. Pick a player for Western Kentucky that came up big on that play. Ramel Lewis, Jared Clendenin, Kenny Martin, all in the middle plugging it up.
Hilltoppers don't even really need the blitz from the outside. Just a quarterback draw. You see the red jerseys in the backfield. Penetration key in short yardage scenarios. Now, 4th down attempt here for Arkansas State.
They fake the quick kick and sling it for a 1st down to Josh Jarbo. 6-yard completion gives Jarbo his 5th catch of the game. You ever seen that? You fake the quick kick and throw it?
No, I have never seen that. That's the first time, and I've never seen a 10-yard cushion on 4th and 3 either.
We've seen soft coverage from Western Kentucky most of the afternoon, and they've taken away anything over the top for the most part, but have given up a lot underneath as a result.
When you look up top here, there's not a defender in your screen.
Reversing field is R.J. Fleming, but good defense by Xavier Boyd on the backside to bring him down and a pickup of 1. It's 2nd down and 9. Fleming's been a big part of this offense today. Had 6 catches during the first half, and here they give him the ball on the reverse.
We pick on the coverage, Joe, but a lot of it's really give and take. If you're going to bring extra guys in the box, those corners a lot of times have to back off. There's another Wildcat formation here.
And it's a reverse play. Applin with a man wide open, and he missed him. Kendrick Murray, his tight end, was all alone. 2nd reverse pass of the day. The first one had Applin catching a touchdown from Dwayne Frampton. But here out of the rabbit wolf formation, as they call it, they got the guy they want throwing it. He just misses him.
Yeah, Frampton to Lawson again. And I credit Ryan Applin for throwing this football when he did. He did not give the safety time to come over and help in coverage, but just overthrows his target a little bit.
3rd and 9. Frampton and Jarbo to the near side of your screen. They've been featured today. Applin stepping up. Now throw it incomplete. A flag is down.
And this is extremely frustrating if you are Hugh Freeze, because this is a 3-man front by Western Kentucky, 3-man rush. So you've got 3 on 5, and you're going to have a holding penalty against you.
We've talked all about Western Kentucky and their penalty problems.
Offense, number 70. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That would have been the 8th on Arkansas State.
Left tackle Delano Moore. Just unacceptable to have a hold with a 3-man rush. You've got help. It's just not necessary. You don't have to do it.
This is a 51-yarder for Bobby Zalid, who hit a 56-yarder earlier this season, the longest field goal this year in college football, the 2nd longest in Sun Belt history. And Zalid pushed it wide. So Western Kentucky holds again despite the turnover. And the Hilltoppers still within reach, down 3 halfway through the 3rd. Sun Belt Conference football is brought to you by Fast 5. Own it on Blu-ray and DVD October 4th. Sun Belt opener for Western Kentucky and Arkansas State here in Bowling Green, and it's been a good one. 10-7 Red Wolves, and we'll go down to the sideline with Aaron.
updating the injury to Antonio Andrews. The x-ray did come back negative. They didn't see any damage. They think it's a really bad sprain, and it is doubtful that he returns. Up to you.
Well, good news nonetheless that it's nothing more serious than that. Western Kentucky, after the failed field goal from Arkansas State, taking control. K'Wan Jakes pulls the ball in the zone read, and Jakes has a first down near midfield. 20 yards for K'Wan Jakes. They don't often have Jakes running the football, but when Rainey draws as much attention as he does, why not?
It's just a great read. You see the extra defender on the front side there. Jakes reads the backside defensive end. He collapses down to come and help with the tackle of Rainey. Jakes keeps the football, escapes to the outside. Nice decision by the Western Kentucky quarterback.
Well, Jakes averages under 2 yards a carry on the season. Big pickup on the first play of the drive. Play action. He's going to try to run again, and he's going to run by the defender. Another first down. 16 yards for K'Wan Jakes, and it's 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Well, one of the keys to the game was keep Jakes in the pocket. I thought it was more difficult to handle outside of the pocket. You see the pocket collapses. Is he able to make Arkansas State's defense pay with his legs again?
It made Nick Nelms, backup linebacker, look like he was standing still, then got run out of bounds by Don Jones.
And Joe, what you really like there from K'Wan Jakes is just chucking the football and running. Don't hang out in the pocket, maneuver, try to make something happen, which could ultimately result in a turnover.
Bobby Rainey hasn't touched it during this drive. Until now, Rainey. Pulled down by Tim Starson. He gets 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Western Kentucky trailing 10-7. The final minutes of this third quarter. The Hilltoppers scored on their first possession of the ball game, but nothing since.
No, just a stretch play there to Rainey, trying to get him going.
A lot of shifting before the play. We've seen this all afternoon from Western Kentucky. And a flag flies.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Seth White, 10th penalty of the day on the Hilltoppers.
A junior out of Nashville. Sometimes you just don't want to outcoach yourself. Don't get too cute. Just line up and run the play. You got motion left, motion right. Offensive linemen are sitting down in their stance. Tough to hold your water sometimes.
Second down and 12 inside the 40. It's Rainey. Don Jones with the tackle. He lost a yard at the 40, and it's 3rd down and long.
Brady cut this ball back just a little bit too early. Didn't give the play any time to develop. He's going to see some sort of penetration here. Front side. Brandon Joyner, big 99, about 1.5 yards in the backfield. That's ultimately what forced Rainey back to the far side, and then nobody home. Good pursuit, good fundamental job by the defense on the backside, staying at home, playing contained.
Western Kentucky is going to burn a timeout.
WKU, their first charge timeout of the half. This will be a full
First timeout of the half for Western Kentucky. A 3rd down and long awaits the Hilltoppers when we come back. Arkansas State with a 10-7 lead in the Sun Belt Conference opener here in Bowling Green. The sweetheart of the game is brought to you by Garvin Woodland Gardens, ranked as one of the top 10 best public gardens in the South, located in Hot Springs, Arkansas, site of the 2012 Sun Belt Conference basketball tournament. You can tell they're sitting in the shade.
Those
because
guys aren't
about
going to be happy you're calling them sweethearts, I can tell you that.
That's funny, too. About a 20-degree difference between the shade and the sun. They're not very sweet. Big third down coming up here for Western Kentucky. Third down and 12 from the 40. Jakes is pressured, steps up and takes off. K1 Jakes with a first down pickup. Third long run of the drive for Jakes at the 24, 19 yards, and it's 1st and 10.
Boy, what a conversion on 3rd and 12. Third time we've seen Jakes leave the pocket on this drive and have success. Pocket's going to collapse. You see right there, Brandon Joyner comes inside from the left defensive end spot. Jakes leaves the pocket quickly, makes that Arkansas State defense pay. Only a 4-man rush for Arkansas State. No linebackers at home to assist.
Rainey hesitates, drags Don Jones for 6 or 7 yards. Inside the 20, 2nd down and 4.
Just a tough physical run. Bobby Rainey, just a zone read off left tackle. Look at this. That's the best back in the Sun Belt Conference right there. Just dragging defenders ahead.
That's Rainey's 20th carry of the ball game. Willie Taggart told us ideally he'd be between 20 and 25. I got a feeling he's going to get more than 25 before this is all said and done. We'll call it 2nd down in the long 3. And Jakes drops back the pass to the end zone and incomplete, looking for Tyler Higbee, who's defended by Daryl Feemster. And 3rd down and 3.
Getting to that point where when Jakes drops back, you wonder if the Western Kentucky staff just holds their breath, so to speak. You still have to take chances. You have to continue to try to open things up down the field, but a couple successful run plays. Jakes unable to find anybody up the seam.
Started 7 of 7, 1 for his last 8. 3rd down and 3. And a toss play to the short side of the field. It's a trick play. Western Kentucky leads. Second trick play of the game that turns into a score. Dexter Haynes has the catch. 3rd touchdown of Haynes' career. And how about this, Cole? We've seen 3 touchdowns in this game. 2 of them have been passes from non-quarterbacks.
I'd love to know how long Western has been holding on to that play. I can't think of a better time to call it. Bobby Rainey sells it beautifully, holding that football to the very last second.
Extra point is on the way, and it is good from Casey Tinius. Western Kentucky with the first score since the first possession of the game. The Hilltoppers trying to snap a 17-game home losing streak, in front by 4 in the conference opener. 10 lead, a 3rd down and short, and what a call by Willie Taggart.
Absolutely. Toss play, Bobby Rainey. Watch him stay low, sell this run play, comes up at the last second.
Dexter Haynes reacting to his 3rd touchdown catch, and Bobby Rainey's 2nd career touchdown pass. 8 plays, 66 yards, scoring drive presented by Eric Hill Nissan. Took 4 minutes and 28 seconds. And you see Bobby Rainey, he had the capper, but it was K1 Jakes with his feet getting it done on that drive.
K1 Jakes carried the load on that drive and did a nice job of being decisive in the pocket of when to tuck the football and run, made good decisions. And hey, he's a kid. Like I said, in the keys to the game, you want to keep him in the pocket, keep him bottom up, make him beat you with his arm. If you allow him to start running loose and you don't stay in your rush lanes, he'll make you pay. He did on that last drive.
Jesse Roy's kick to be fielded on a bounce. Rod Hall finally finds it. Gets it past the 20-yard line. A return of 10 yards for Rod Hall. 1st down and 10 for Arkansas State. Trailing again, but an offense that can come from behind from just about any margin.
No, there's no doubt about it. And you want to stick with your game plan here. No reason to panic just because you're down 4 on the road. I expect this team to still continue to just run their offense, hit the quick passes. Ryan Applin take what the defense gives him, try to establish the run.
Arkansas State 240 yards of offense so far. They had more than 600 last week. Taylor Stockamer knocked out of bounds after 6 yards. Tackle made by Marquise Sumler. 2nd down and 4.
Nice route by Stockamer, timing route. Ball is there just as soon as he expects it and comes out of his break.
Stockamer again, another speed out, another tackle for Tyree Robinson.
Just keep taking it. I mean, you tell the defensive backs, you're either going to come up and you're going to play us, or we're going to continue to chip away, one or the other.
They've played soft all day. Stockamer taking advantage, 4 catches now, more than 50 yards.
Luke Stanfield returns into the offensive line for Arkansas State.
Applin on his zone read, kept it despite Bo Adebayo coming upfield. Maybe the wrong read, and it's a pickup of maybe a yard.
And one of the first poor decisions of the day for Ryan Applin. You wonder sometimes if he just gets a little bit jumpy and wants to keep the football, but like you mentioned, you saw Big 90 already in your picture there. As soon as Applin pulled that ball from Thornton.
2nd down and 9. Applin given all kinds of time. Open man is Frampton. Bounces off of the tackle from Ryan Bird. And gets 15 yards and a 1st down near midfield.
Big conversion on 2nd and 10 for Ryan Applin. So much time in the pocket. Great job by the offensive line for the Red Wolves, allowing Applin 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds.
They fake the run and throw it. Stockamer with his 3rd catch of the drive, and Tyree Robinson with his 3rd tackle.
Yeah, corner's going to play 10 yards off. We're going to go hitch. We're going to go out. We're going to go out. We're going to go hitch. Continue to throw it.
Pickup of 9, 2nd down and 1. Inside of a minute in this 3rd quarter as Arkansas State tries to answer their 2nd deficit of the afternoon. Sir Gregory Thornton has enough for a 1st down. Only 35 yards on the ground today for an Arkansas State team that racked up 375 yards, their highest rushing total in 3 years a week ago against Central Arkansas.
Well, I think 2 things that contribute to that, Joe. Number 1, Western Kentucky has controlled time of possession. Number 2, Arkansas State's come up with a few big plays, mainly through the air.
Applin with another quick throw, the 4th one of the drive to Stockamer, and 4 open field tackles for Tyree Robinson.
Just not really sure what you want me to say about this other than it's time for the defense to make an adjustment. You give Hugh Freeze and his offensive staff credit for having the discipline to just continuously go to it. Coaching's there again, another 7 yards off.
On 2nd and 5. Draw play. Lawson pulled down from behind. Jamarcus Allen with a tackle to close this 3rd quarter. And Western Kentucky in front by 4. There is a flag down. And by Applin's reaction, looks like this should be on Arkansas State.
Willie Taggart wants an explanation.
Not sure anybody's got any idea what's going on. Hugh Freeze.
Illegal shift. Offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down. That is the end of the quarter.
That sounds about right.
What we had was an illegal shift there, Joe.
Western Kentucky, a 17-game home losing streak, a chance to break it in the Sun Belt opener. 15 minutes to decide it, coming up next. Start of the fourth quarter from Bowling Green. The homestanding Hilltoppers trying to snap a 17-game home losing streak. The running game has been where Western Kentucky's capitalized. You see the edge there, 118 yards to 33. Arkansas State, meanwhile, is taking advantage through the air. And as we start this fourth quarter with the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning, look at the three-quarter stats. A big third down coming up for Arkansas State.
Only 3 of 11 on the day for Arkansas State.
Third down and about 6. They need the 27. Applin on a short roll, throws it for Frampton. It's caught, and Dwayne Frampton hurdles into the end zone for a touchdown. 33 yards, and just like that, Arkansas State is back in front.
What a throw. What a run after the catch for Dwayne Frampton. Ryan Applin sneaks this ball into pretty good coverage. Frampton bounces off 2 defenders and, like you mentioned, hurdles his way into the end zone. Red Wolves take the lead.
So Frampton now with a touchdown catch and a touchdown pass as that extra point is wide, making it a 2-point game, and that's big. And both guys in Frampton and Applin with a touchdown pass and a touchdown catch. They've hooked up twice today. First time that it's quarterback to receiver. 2-point lead for Arkansas State. Extra point, so it's 16-14 with 14:53 remaining in this final quarter. Look at the Eric Hill Nissan scoring drive. It is capped off on the first play of the fourth quarter. 9 plays, 78 yards, 2 minutes, 33 seconds. Who's Ryan Applin? It's Dwayne Frampton. Both those guys now with a touchdown pass and a touchdown catch today. Earlier it was Frampton finding Applin on a trick play for a touchdown. And here Frampton, the leading receiver in the Sun Belt, gets his second touchdown catch of the season.
See how Western Kentucky offense responds. Plenty of time.
And huge hit, short of the 20-yard line. That's Jermaine Robertson with a tackle on a 15-yard return. And the drive will start at the 20-yard line. Listen in.
Big hit just before that. 22, Tyree Robinson with a big block for Western Kentucky as well. A lot of contact on that return.
John Evans was a return man. So first down and 10 at the 20. K-Wan Jakes got it done by scrambling last possession. Bobby Rainey with the carry on first down. Sweeping in from the linebacking court to make the tackles, Nigel Bird. It'll be second down and 11. Visit Take5OilChange.com for savings on your next oil change.
Well, Joe, what you've seen the majority of this game from the Arkansas State defense is widening out the defensive tackles, widening out the defensive ends, knowing that Western Kentucky is going to go to a lot of that zone scheme. They're trying to bottle everything up back into the middle of the defense. That's what's allowing the linebackers to penetrate and make so many tackles in the backfield.
The carry for Rainey was his 21st of the day. His 8-game, 100-yard streak on the line. He's got 67. Speed out, completed to Dexter Haynes, and a quick tackle made by Daryl Feemster. He gets 10 yards to the 26. Ready to be third down and 4 or 5 for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, nice completion there for K-Wan Jakes.
Got another Twitter question coming from @PaperMill75. How big would a home win be for Western Kentucky today? It'd be huge. It'd be the first for Willie Taggart as a head coach here at Houchins Industries LT Smith Stadium.
First since 2008?
Snap a 17-game streak. A third down and 5 play. He stands in and is intercepted. Kashawn Lee with the interception as he tried to squeeze it in to Dexter Haynes. A huge takeaway for Arkansas State. Second interception of the day and Jake's 8th of the season.
Well, just a poor read and a nice job of stepping in front, picking this football off. Protects him pretty good up front, plenty of time. He just forces his throw. He's obviously not happy, but that's a scenario where your quarterback knows where he wants to go with the football. Based on his pre-snap read of the coverage, he feels like that route should be there. Tries to squeeze it into a hole that's not there.
1st and 10. They pump it to Jarbo. Applin can't escape. Taryn Williams with a sack. It's a loss of almost 20 yards. Let's take a look at this one again.
A huge sack here by Western Kentucky. Applin wants to go to the double move, tries the pump fake. And you see there, the blitz was coming off the edge. Initially, it was picked up.
A freshman from Bradenton, Florida, dropping him for a loss of 18. 2nd down and 38. They take what they can with Josh Jarbo with a solid open field tackle made by Keontae Young. Now, something we look at each week is the Rubik's Cubic. Let's take a look at how it stands right now in the start of the 4th quarter.
You know, rushing yards, turnovers, and penalties, I believe, lead to victories. Arkansas State being dominated in rushing yards. Obviously not the other two. Double-digit in penalties and 2 turnovers for Western Kentucky. Obviously the difference in this game, the reason that they trail by 2 here in the 4th quarter.
Well, they need the 11-yard line for a 1st down. Maybe the play of the game so far for Western Kentucky, that sack for Taryn Williams. Applin steps into pressure. Completes it back to the original line of scrimmage, and another good tackle for Keontae Young on a pickup of 14 to Dwayne Frampton. It'll be 4th down.
Nice tackle by Keontae Young. Western Kentucky goes to that tackle in twist again up front. Quantera Smith brings pressure late. Still a pretty good job of Ryan Applin sticking in that pocket, patient, waiting, finding his receiver over the middle. Still a nice pickup to put you in a much more comfortable field goal position.
It's a 43-yarder for Bobby Zalad, who missed earlier today from 51. This one's good. The Zalad nails it to extend the lead to 5 with 11-12 remaining in the conference opener from Bowling Green. Western Kentucky with the football when we come back. Arkansas State 11-12 remaining in the Sun Belt opener. Tonight at 10 o'clock Central, watch CST Tonight for all your sports news and information. Kentucky heads to Tiger Stadium to take on new #1 LSU. We've got a full breakdown of that game and post-game interviews. Arkansas and soon-to-be SEC member Texas A&M both lost last week. They look to bounce back as they play each other in the Southwest Classic at Cowboys Stadium. And the Saints prepare to take on the Jaguars in Jacksonville. All this and more live on CST Tonight, only on Cox Sports Television. Your Eric Hill Nissan scoring drive, they didn't go anywhere. It was capped off by a 43-yard field goal for Bobby Zalad, but the interception sets Arkansas State up. And then a big sack for Western Kentucky and freshman Taryn Williams, making things turn into just 3.
They might not have gone anywhere, but they put this out of field goal range for Western Kentucky.
Willie Taggart hoping his team can come from behind again and snap a 17-game home losing streak. It would be the first win at home with him as head coach. The flag flies as Wright crosses the 25-yard line. Return of 21 yards.
You cannot continuously back yourself up and ruin field position with penalties.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offsides, kicking team number 30. Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal wedge formation, receiving team. Those fouls offset, replay the kickoff.
So replay the down because of your run-of-the-mill illegal wedge formation.
Can only have 2 players interlocked in that new rule that came into effect, I believe, a year ago.
You don't see it often.
You don't, no. And if you have 3 players who interlock arms and come together to form a wedge,
I didn't see it, did you?
yeah, well, if you guys are 3 players close enough together to where they could interlock, you call the penalty, but they were there for such a short period of time.
Tyree Robinson and John Evans deep for Willie Taggart, who lost his star return man, Antonio Andrews, to an ankle sprain earlier on today. It'll be Evans from the 6. Evans has space. Dragged down past the 45. 42-yard return for the freshman running back, John Evans. An excellent field position for the Hilltoppers.
Huge tackle by Kelsey Collins for Arkansas State. It sticks with this play and eventually makes the tackle. Look at the lead blockers out front, a couple good moves. There's Collins, who did not give up on the play. Well, that had the potential to go the distance.
You've seen Kelsey Collins make a couple big plays on special teams today. Had a block on Frampton's return back in the second quarter. It's first down and 10 at the 47. Jakes was intercepted on the last offensive play. They tossed to Rainey. Blockers in front. Gets a good one from his fullback Jones and has a first down into Arkansas territory. 11 yards. They mark him down at the 42. And Rainey over 70 yards on the afternoon. Kelsey McCray with a tackle.
You know how many tailbacks are just going to put this on cruise control and glide right out of bounds, maybe get a 2-3 yard gain. Bobby Rainey comes almost to a complete stop just inside the numbers, cuts north and south. 11-12 yard gain for his offensive team. All of a sudden, Western Kentucky has a first down. Excellent job of running by Bobby Rainey.
78 yards on the afternoon for Bobby Rainey, trying to make it 9 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. The longest streak in the nation right now at 8 games. 10-18 remaining, 19-14, Arkansas State in front in the Sun Belt opener on the Sun Belt Network. Sun Belt Conference football has been brought to you by Golden Flake, the official snack of the Sun Belt Conference. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO. Or visit geico.com. 19-14, Red Wolves in front of the Hilltoppers. 10-18 remaining here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 22nd carry of the night for Bobby Rainey. Has him with 78 yards total. And has a first down and 10 for his Hilltoppers at the 42-yard line. The only Sun Belt player to average more than 100 yards a game this season. Play action on first down, an open man. It's Rainey out of the backfield. He's in. There is a flag down back at the 30. As it stands, a 42-yard touchdown. Will it be a backbreaker? Holding goes on Arkansas State. And Western Kentucky leads again.
Great play call, finding Bobby Rainey off the play action fake. Western Kentucky takes the lead.
Rainey started that play in the backfield. I blinked and he was 30 yards downfield and wide open. Now Western Kentucky will go for 2, trying to extend the advantage to 3. 42-yard hookoff. K'Wan Jakes to Bobby Rainey, who is the team's leading receiver.
Yeah, interesting they're going to take this two-point conversion attempt from the hash.
Jakes dancing. Jakes spins. He's in.
What an effort.
There's a wall of white shirts at the goal line, and K'Wan Jakes found his way through it to make it a 3-point lead.
Play action. Jakes rolls out, looks back for Rainey. You saw the safety creep up off the fake. Just blows right past A.J. Hills, number 13, for the score and the lead. Loving it. There's no way this kid's getting in. Hesitation step, rolls over a defender, somehow finds his way into that end zone. Great effort from K'Wan Jakes. He's been so effective with his legs today.
They will review this play at the goal line, and again, every Sunbelt Stadium equipped with goal line cameras. So in addition to what they'll see from our broadcast, you get some good looks that we don't have access to in the replay booth.
That left knee, as soon as he rolls over towards the goal line, is what you're going to want to keep an eye on. Very close. Right there.
I think he's in.
What you would have to determine is if the ball goes over the goal line before, boy, does that hand go down in the end zone?
It's got to be an elbow,
comes down first.
As they review this call, it's interesting to note that there are now 3 players in this game with a touchdown catch and a touchdown pass, because Rainey had his touchdown pass possession prior. And for Arkansas State, you've got both the quarterback Applin and the receiver Frampton with a catch and a pass for a touchdown.
Wild.
I wonder if that's ever happened. There's ever in the history of college football. Zach Azani-Lozano, offensive coordinator for Western Kentucky. He's to the left of your screen. If that's ever happened.
You're thinking first time ever, huh?
I don't know. Two-point conversion good, as we assumed, in Western Kentucky with a 3-point lead. Boy, you talk about responding. Eric Hill Nissan scoring drive, 2 plays, 53 yards. It was an 11-yard run for Bobby Rainey to start the possession. Then Jakes finds Rainey for a touchdown pass of 42 yards.
We mentioned, would they be able to answer? Bobby Rainey starts it off with a nice run on the toss sweep, gets the first down. And then K'Wan Jakes on that play action up top finds Rainey again.
When we talk about what's at stake here, this would be the 3rd win as an FBS school for Western Kentucky. Their first win this season, I think, is the biggest one. First one at home since September of 2008. Rod Hall, the field in a bounce. And Hall runs into his own man at the 25. 17-yard return. And Arkansas State back on offense. With just over 10 minutes remaining. Tyree Robinson with the tackle on special teams. Let's take a listen to this one. Right into the back of his own man. And it's Cole Lorigan that was in front of him. Momentum certainly has changed in this game. 22-19 Western Kentucky. Willie Taggart hoping and praying that his team can now hold on against Ryan Applin, who swings it into the flats to a wide open man. And a pickup for Anthony Kinsey of 18 yards to the 43. Anthony Kinsey's 2nd catch of the season. JUCO transfer in his first year at Arkansas State.
Applin goes to work quickly, just under 10 minutes left in this game. Arkansas State wants to go tempo offense.
Applin on a rollout. Josh Jarbo taking advantage of the soft coverage. With this momentum turning, Aaron, what's it like down there on the Western Kentucky sideline?
As you mentioned, I am on that Western Kentucky sideline. Everybody, as you can imagine, is all smiles. I know when we talked to Coach Taggart all week, he said he wanted his guys to just play loose and have fun. From the looks of it down here, that's exactly what they're doing.
Derek Lawson on 2nd down and 6. 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Nice tough run by Lawson there. Zone read off left tackle. It's a dangerous position for the Western Kentucky defense here. 3rd and 2. A lot of options if you're Hugh Freeze. Cover 2, 2 safeties deep. They'll back into cover 4 now.
Quarterback draw. 1st down. 6 yards for Ryan Applin. And Applin, once again, the team's leading rusher. He's only got 13 yards on the afternoon. You look at Derek Lawson, 4 carries for 4 yards.
Well, that's the thing, the 4 carries. There haven't been a lot of attempts in the run game, really and truly, Joe.
On 1st down, Applin with his eyes downfield will pump and run out of bounds. Andrew Jackson diving after him, force him out after a gain of 3.
Boy, Derek Lawson makes this plays go. Number 22. He's going to get a cut block down in protection. Blitzer comes off the edge. Lawson gets that blitzer to the ground. That allows Applin the corner. He's able to sprint ahead for a few extra yards. Nice job by the back.
2nd and 7. Applin to Frampton. 1st down inside the 25. He took contact and held on. The Frampton went out to pluck it. Keontae Young nailed him from behind, and it's 1st down and 10.
Great protection up front. To thread the needle. Boy, Applin sneaks this ball in between 2 defenders. Nice catch by Frampton. Knows he's going to take a hit. Defender down on the field for Western Kentucky.
18 yards on the completion. There's a man down for Western Kentucky right now. Haven't gotten a good look at the number yet. Looks like C.J. Odom that's down, a junior from Fort Myers, Florida.
Odom might have caught that right shoulder. Comes right down. He takes the blow in the right shoulder and then lands on it as well. Maybe Stinger had the breath knocked out. Looks like he's going to be okay.
It's 1st down and 10 for Arkansas State, down by a field goal. They've got it at the 22. Drive that started back at the 20. Now Western Kentucky's defense trying to stand tall again. Pressure comes. Jared Clendenin with a sack.
Well, they've been able to get pressure when they've needed it, Joe. Had a big sack just before the half. This one huge. Jared Clendenin with the swim move. You see him just at the top of your screen right here.
Clendenin is senior, captain of the defense, making his 18th straight start today. Had a big game against Arkansas State last year as well. Forced a couple of fumbles, recovered another. Now keep in mind, Western Kentucky did beat Arkansas State a season ago. That game was in overtime. They need the 12-yard line for a first down. They go to the screen, and Derek Lawson goes down. Jamarcus Allen jumped all over him, and it's 3rd down and long.
Pump fake trying to set up the screen. Jamarcus Allen, Andrew Jackson, both do a nice job staying at home. You saw Quantera Smith, 93, defensive end, collapsing down on that play. Looked as though the screen would be there. Nothing home.
3rd and 22. A quick throw and a completion to R.J. Fleming, short of the first down on a pickup of 8, but they might have put him into reasonable field goal range.
Yeah, Darius Brooks on the tackle, came into this game with 8 tackles at the cornerback position, 6:18 left. I don't have a problem with the field goal attempt here. Obviously going to take 2 scores if it is a field goal.
Bobby Zalad 1 for 2 today. This from 44 to tie the game.
Pushed it. Pushed it to the right. He has missed both attempts to the right today.
Western Kentucky maintains the lead. Cole said it, when they've needed a sack, they've gotten it. Jared Clendenin delivered it on this drive to push him into a tough field goal.
And it was Clendenin on Alex Kautai, the left guard, just one-on-one for that big sack.
Zalad, sophomore from Carlsbad, California, just narrowly missed it wide. Would have tied up the ball game. The 2011 Sun Belt Conference Cross Country Championships coming later this month. Action will be Saturday, October 29th, right here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So don't miss your chance to watch some of the nation's best distance runners compete for the conference title. Visit www.sunbeltsports.org for more details. Bobby Rainey dropping the shoulder, getting 2 yards, and it's 2nd down and 8. Rainey with 78 yards, make that 80 on the afternoon. 23 carries. We talked about earlier in the game, Western Kentucky struggling in situations where they got a little bit of time and need to move. This is where they should excel.
Oh, absolutely. You have just under 5.5 minutes left. One of the better tailbacks in the country on your squad. You have quality tight ends. You see Rainey's going to be lined up in the slot up top.
Jakes will throw it. Dexter Haynes with a diving grab. 7-yard completion. They spot him just short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard.
I can't express to you how big this catch is by Dexter Haynes. Sets up a 3rd and 1. How much different a 3rd and 1 versus a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 is. Love the fact that Willie Taggart does not lose confidence in K'Wan Jakes either. Continues to go back to him when they have to have him. I think everyone in the stadium thought that was going to be Bobby Rainey.
3rd and 1. Rainey behind Jones for a first down.
Now, Arkansas State does have all 3 timeouts. Short yardage situation. Of course, it's going to be Bobby Rainey. We'll give Louis Polanco, number 63, left guard, credit. He pulls around center into that A gap, gets to the 2nd level, which allows Rainey room to pick up the first down.
An offensive line, which Western Kentucky was hoping would improve greatly from the first few games. Paving the way for 85 yards for Bobby Rainey today. Willie Taggart going to use the timeout.
Should be a 30-second timeout.
With 3:48 to go. CSS is your home for live college football. Tune in tonight at 8 o'clock for a Conference USA matchup. Rice and Southern Miss featuring Brett Favre as color analyst for the game. You can visit CSSSports.com for complete schedules and updates. So Western Kentucky on the verge of starting conference play 1-0. They were 2-10 a season ago, starting off 0-3 this year, and coming into conference playoff of what Willie Taggart called an embarrassing loss to FCS opponent Indiana State. The goal remains the same for this team. That is to win a Sun Belt title. They're trying to drain this clock and take a step in the right direction. All 3 timeouts left for Arkansas State. Brady again. Kelsey McCray cleaned it up on a pickup of 2. He's got 87 yards now. And Arkansas State using that first timeout.
And really no business Bobby Rainey getting 2 yards on this play. Arkansas State defense has it bobbled up, just an outside zone play. Rainey again, solid patience, cuts it back at the last minute. Boy, Joe, and you look at the situation that we're in now and what is on the line. Not only the conference opener for both of these teams, but a big-time home game losing streak for Western Kentucky on the line. Bobby Rainey still has a shot to go over 100 yards. He's done it in 8 consecutive games. If he can do it today, it'd be a school record. He's already tied the school record. School record held by Antoine Floyd. Bobby Rainey's averaged 144 a game during that 8-game streak.
Here he is again, trying to get the corner. Arkansas State uses the speed of Don Jones. Flag flies, and he might have gotten a piece of the face mask on a loss of 5.
I think he did. That will negate the loss and then some.
Without the face mask, it would have been 3rd down and about 13.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 5. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic. First
The
down.
only face mask penalty that exists nowadays in college football is that personal foul. It's an automatic first down.
And this one hurts. It's an excellent job of stringing out the toss. There it is, right there.
Clear.
Just trying to make a play, not malicious. Saw him even remove the hand from the face mask quickly.
8th penalty of the day on Arkansas State. Western Kentucky trying to overcome a slew of penalties themselves. 3.5 and counting. Bobby Rainey needs 13 yards to get 100 for the 9th straight game. Here he is.
The box is just stacked, Joe. It's just stacked. It's man coverage, man-to-man across the board everywhere else. And with Arkansas State, still 1 timeout remaining.
Sean Lee with the tackle there. Let's take a look at the rest of the slate in the Sun Belt right now. Games early on. Duke and FIU down in Florida. ULL fresh off that big win over FIU, scoring early against FAU 6-0. And Memphis, a team that Arkansas State rolled 47-3, leading Middle Tennessee early 7-0. Elsewhere in the Sun Belt, North Texas trailing 7-0 early on against Tulsa. And a couple of Alabama teams, UAB and Troy, meeting up. They're scoreless in the early moments.
Troy lost a heartbreaker to UAB a season ago at the last second on a Hail Mary. That one being played in Troy. A little bit of revenge game for Larry Blake and his bunch.
Willie Taggart hoping for that win to get this program kick-started. With the loss of 2, Rainey now at 83 yards on the afternoon. They continue to feed their horse. Tim Starson with the tackle. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Final timeout used by Hugh Freeze with 3:04 to go. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Wants to keep as much of that clock available as possible. Give his offense as much time as he can to operate. So really two schools of thought there. Do you want your offense to have less time with more timeouts or more time with less timeouts? Hugh Freeze choosing to go with the latter. In his offense, he can find ways to stop the clock. They operate quickly, so you would think he just wants to preserve as much time, as many seconds as possible. Really just based on the way that they operate. Question here is for Western Kentucky, what are you going to dial up now? Where are you going to go to now? They're going to bottle it up. We've seen 7, 8, 9 guys in the box for Arkansas State. They're not going to let Bobby Rainey do this on his own from the backfield. Rainey's going to be in the slot down here at the bottom anyway.
They'll empty it out on 3rd down and 10. They rush 5. Jakes scrambling. Jakes close to a 1st down. Lee with a tackle. It'll depend on the spot.
He got a good one. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Joe, he got a good one. They'll measure, and it will be close.
Jakes on a scoring drive early on in the second half had 3 or 4 big runs. He's got another here.
Quarterback draw, 5 wide receiver sets. I love the play call. Defensively, I don't know how you don't know this is coming. I honestly don't.
Took he rolled over the top of Lee.
Jakes has gutted you with his legs the entire second half.
It's a 1st down. Arkansas State without a timeout. Inside of 3 minutes in Western Kentucky, trying to grind the clock down and get out of here with a win. The 8th play of the drive coming here. You go back to that diving catch from Dexter Haynes.
Big.
Not only did it make it 3rd and manageable, but it kept the clock moving. They're going to review the spot of this previous play. Willie Taggart doesn't like it, but nothing he can do about it. Now, I mentioned it to you during the replay. It looked to me, and we'll see again here soon, but it looked to me like Jakes rolled over the top of the defender Lee and had enough for the 1st down.
Get a pretty good look at it here. Difficult to argue. It looks like the first thing to go down is his shoulder.
Right, I don't think that knee hits.
They're going to be able to call that knee down right there. This will be a good look at the left knee. Right knee there. I'm not sure definitively you're going to be able to say.
And that's as good of a look as you can have.
Based on that picture that his knee was down there. We know this, 1 first down seals it if this stands.
This guy's seen it, right? What? Western?
I mean, the ankle's down. I don't know where you draw the line here if you're an official of saying, okay, the the lower fibia is down.
Right, I hope he comes out and says something like that.
The femur's not down. The patella's not down. Where do you draw the line if you're an official? Tough to get anything definitive off that look. And like you mentioned, heck of a look by our cameraman there.
2 minutes, 36 seconds away from the first win at home since 2008. It'd be the first win at home under Willie Taggart. It'd be the first win at home as an FCS team. There's Dexter Haynes, who had a huge diving catch during this possession. And in the background of Haynes, K'Wan Jakes. Got off to a red-hot start today. Was 7 of 7 to begin the game. He's 4 of 12 since then. Has been intercepted twice, but it's been Jake's running the ball that has gotten Western Kentucky in a shot to win this thing.
Well, how big was slipping that tackle right there? Seeing it from that angle, you could definitely come away saying this is going to be 4th and 1.
You
This is going to be
could, but
4th and an inch.
But is it enough?
That's the question that you and I can't answer. We don't have the angles or the authority to make that call.
After
Kevin
further
Stein does.
review, the runner's knee was down. The ball was at the 32.5-yard line. We'll respot it and remeasure. Clock operator, please reset the clock to 2:59.
The interesting
2:59.
thing is the chains have already moved. You just back them up.
And he talks about remeasuring it. That might have been part of the reason they took longer to look at it, because you've got to see exactly where the chains do go. Good thing is for Willie Taggart, you've got Bobby Rainey at your disposal here.
Either way.
You need an inch. Maybe. We'll see. And boy,
2
there's
yards
no way he
short?
was that short.
They have to be calling the ankle down. That's the only thing I can think of is we saw the ankle down. It has to be it. Well, that's a big differential. That's a 2-yard differential.
Here's our best look.
What's his right ankle roll right down there? Right
That's what they're calling.
there, the
Okay.
right ankle down. Has to be it. Didn't see the exact location of where the ball was when that ankle went down, if that's how it was decided. It's like a big difference. Ankles there, ball's there.
4th and 1. Rainey stacked up. Bobby Rainey didn't get it. And Arkansas State takes advantage of the overturn call. It takes possession. What a turn of events. Center of that defense for Arkansas State.
I can't even imagine the emotions on the sideline of Western Kentucky right now. You go from having this game in
It's
the
won.
books,
Yeah.
wrapped up, to now your defense has to make a stop.
Against the top-rated offense in the Sun Belt.
2:39, no timeouts.
They've done this all day. Josh Jarbo, 7 yards and out of bounds.
67 yards to go before that completion.
Keep in mind, only need a field goal to tie the game. As Jarbo gets his 8th catch of the day. 3 receivers with at least 7 for Ryan Applin. Applin taking a shot. Dwayne Frampton tiptoed the sideline. Catch of the day, 1st and 10 at the 36.
Wow. What a grab. What a throw by Applin. He's running full speed. Again, watch Jared Clendenin, number 5, is going to come flat. A nice job keeping Applin back, directing traffic as he rolls out. Heck of a play.
Lawson banged down by Andrew Jackson. 4 yards to the 32.
Quanterra Smith's going to check in, trying to keep these defensive linemen fresh. I'll tell you right now, Joe, time is not an issue. The clock is not of concern for Arkansas State right now.
That ball's complete. Earl Lucas with his first catch of the game, 10 yards, and with that, a new school record for Ryan Applin, his 35th completion.
Another first down.
Glendenin tackles Lawson inside the red zone. A minute 35 and counting. No timeouts for either side. Western Kentucky brings pressure. It's incomplete. They went to Taylor Stockermer with that speed out that they've worked all afternoon against Darius Brooks.
That'll stop the clock. Minute 24.
Third down and 7.
Need these guys right here. Big. Somebody step up and make a play if you're on that Western Kentucky defensive line. No safeties deep. They're going to roll coverage.
Applin dances around. Now scrambles. Applin, there's going to be a holding penalty. It's going to go on Delano Moore, number 70, the left tackle.
Holding, offense, number 70, 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, third down.
Fifth-year senior from Sunrise, Florida.
It's going to be up here at the top of your screen. 70's the guy. Right there, doesn't allow the defender to disengage. Well, that's questionable in my mind.
Either way, it's huge. Moves it back to the 30.
And I'm a former lineman, so obviously don't like to see the holding penalties come, especially at that point in the game. Huge break for Western Kentucky.
Third down and 18. Applin throwing back shoulder. Josh Jarbo near the sticks. It's a first down. 18 yards inside of a minute.
You're giving it to him. That's the problem. You're giving it to him based on your coverage.
He'll spike it. It's first and 10 inside the 12. Josh Jarbo with his 9th reception of the ballgame. And Ryan Applin with his 36th completion.
I got to tell you, Joe, I don't know. 56 seconds, you're going to burn a down? You're going to waste a down there? With the way this offense operates, it's plenty of time. Easily can get 4 plays off in 56 seconds.
Into the flats. Frampton's open. Inside the 1. First down and goal. Frampton's 9th catch of the game. They've not run it well today. Lawson is in the end zone for a touchdown. Arkansas State seemed to be finished. An overturned call on a challenge gives the offense the ball back. And they're in the end zone to take the lead with 43 seconds to go on Derek Lawson's touchdown.
Boy, grit and determination out of Arkansas State. Have to credit this squad. Because like you mentioned it, they were left for dead. Extra point is good. 26-22. Arkansas State, 43 seconds remain. Penetration's there up front. Lawson just able to find enough space to sneak into the end zone.
Drive started at the 33-yard line. 9 plays, 67 yards, a minute 56, brought to you by Eric Hill Nissan. The big play, the third down and 18 conversion on the back shoulder throw from Applin to Jarbo. We talk about situations where Western Kentucky's comfortable, back into one where they're not.
No, this is not ideal.
You need a touchdown.
And you're going to have to open it up. You have no timeouts left. 43 seconds. You have to throw the football. You're going to have to pitch it around some. And obviously, like you just said, that's not what this offense is built to do. They're not comfortable having K1 Jakes run the 2-minute offense.
Ryan Applin with his school record, 37 of 49, 396. Willie Taggart, can't believe it. Hugh Freeze and the Red Wolves trying to sneak out of here with a win. And keep in mind that Western Kentucky without its best return man. Antonio Andrews getting hurt earlier on, so that's Tyree Robinson on a short kick. Robinson takes it on the move at the 30, cuts back past the 40, and close to the 45-yard line. 15-yard return for Tyree Robinson. And some shoving after the play. Officials holding on to the flags in a critical spot.
They haven't held them all day, and they're going to hold them now.
So Robinson gives him a chance with a solid field position. K1 Jakes brings the offense back onto the field. Jakes started today 7 for 7. He's 4 for his last 12 with 2 interceptions. A flag flies, a false start going to be called on Wes Jeffries, the left tackle.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Not the way you want to start this drive, Joe.
11th penalty on the afternoon. Moves it back to the 39. Boy, what a series this is becoming between these two teams. Decided in the final minute, 3 straight years. They rush only 3. Jakes downfield, an open man, and a first down. Bo Brand with a reception.
Did not get out of bounds. Going to have to hurry up, spike this football.
Arkansas State with soft defense.
They're going to run a play.
Jake steps up and throws for Brand again, incomplete, too tall, defended by Don Jones, and it's 2nd down and 10, but the clock now down to 21 seconds. You're getting close to needing to take a shot with no timeouts.
Clock does stop. If anything, you'd like one more completion here to put yourself in position to get the ball to the end zone for at least one play.
3-man rush again. Pressure, incomplete. Well, you put that kind of pressure on a guy with 3 men rushing. You've got 8 covering. That's impossible.
Ran a twist up top, nose end twist. Dorvis Woods able to get to K1 Jakes. Forces that incompletion. Now 17 seconds remain.
Mario Davis, Arkansas State defense, needing one more stop to open conference play with a win. Three-man rush again. It's been successful so far. Jakes escapes and throws to Rainey. Didn't get out of bounds. Or did he? Let's say that he got out. My goodness, with 6 seconds. And this will be the final play of the ball game here. Now, Jakes does not have a strong arm.
Yeah, I don't think he can get it to the end zone from here, Joe. So you'll take a chance underneath and maybe pitch it around a little bit.
And Jakes is tackled from behind. Justin Robertson brings him down. And Arkansas State somehow escapes with a win. Heartbreak for the Hilltoppers in the conference opener. Let's take a look at the Geico great save of the game. 3rd down and 18. Ryan Applin finds Josh Jarbo on a back shoulder fade. And then it's Derek Lawson at no more than 10 yards on the afternoon, putting Arkansas State in front to win it. Well, thanks for joining us on Sunbelt Conference Football. Up next on CSS, it's live college football action. The Owls of Rice travel to take on Southern Miss. For our viewers on CST, it's the Warriors of Hawaii at Louisiana Tech Live. The Sunbelt Network travels to Denton, Texas next weekend, where the North Texas Mean Green hosts the FAU Owls. Catch live coverage on CSS next Saturday, starting at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. If you're watching CST, we've got tape-delayed coverage on October 10th at 8 o'clock. Don't miss the Owls and the Mean Green in the new stadium. For Aaron Cofield, Cole Kubelik, I'm Joe Davis. Arkansas State holds on.